Welcome everybody to Chicago Chaos Football on SportsTownChicago.com. I am Cody Grant. Alongside me is Chris Labosco. Chris, how you doing?
Oh, great. It's out here in Racine, Wisconsin, and just getting for a great game here between Chaos and Racine. We're at a historic Orlick Field, too.
Remember that historic Orlick Field. This field's been around since the 1920s.
A very nice grass field, very good turf field. You don't see many grass fields that are this well kept throughout the year, especially this part of the summer. So it's a really a nice field to be at. Never been here before myself, so I'm excited for the game today. And another cross game here between the two leagues as well, which is another great thing.
Racine Raiders, of course, from the MSFL. Chicago Chaos from the GFL. And you've seen the Chaos play all season. They're at 6-1. Their only loss this season came in Week 4 to the Chicago Thunder, a MSFL team. Now, Anthony Iannotti did not play in that game. He will be playing tonight. In the last 2 weeks, he's been phenomenal.
And really, that's a guy that really is the engine for their team. They need him out on the field for their offense to really be as dangerous as it can be. I mean, that's without Iannotti, you saw how different they looked offensively, especially through the air.
I mean, the guys on this team, they may have, at least in my opinion, the deepest wide receiver core and the best wide receiver core. We talk about James Former, Shan McFarland, Michael Brockman. Those guys can really get the job done, but they really can't contribute to this team unless they have a guy throwing the ball, which Iannotti does very well.
Right. It's really tough when you have a guy who's not used to throwing the ball, throwing you the
exactly,
ball, too.
Exactly. So the Chaos, obviously, they've won two in a row now, coming into this game against Racine. Racine is 4-1. They're on a 4-game winning streak in one of the best teams here in Racine in the MSFL. They've been around for a long time. Played the Packers back in the early days of the NFL. It's a lot of history here.
Yes, well, in this field at least.
Yes.
What was formerly the home of the...
Wasn't this Racine team.
Race.
Historically.
That team folded a long time ago.
Yes.
But Racine, though, has had a football team here for a very long time. It is really the thing as they're getting ready here for the national anthem. Pretty cool. They have all the bikes out there as well, along with the dancers. So pretty cool start here as we get ready for that national anthem. But it's nice to see the pageantry and everything here, and a community that's really behind their team is pretty cool to see, along with, the Chaos as well. They got a good amount of fans here for the Chaos. It's a bit of a drive.
Yeah, some guys came out about an hour and a half. Was my drive this morning. I don't know how long your drive was, Chris. Not too far out, but I really enjoy. You talked about the stadium. They have the Stonewall orchard kind of around the entire stadium, surrounding the whole thing. It's really beautiful to see, and a great setup here in Racine, Wisconsin. They've done a good job. The Raiders, obviously an excellent team that's fun to watch, a team the fans root for. But so are the Chaos out from Melrose Park, Illinois. They always draw a crowd. Should be a excellent game against two of the top teams in either league. GFL, of course, for the Chaos, and the MSFL for the Raiders.
And this partnership is really something that's helping both of these leagues flourish a little bit more, and really is giving you a good view of the talent here. I mean, just to go along with that, we were talking before we went on air about one of the players for the Chicago Chaos is actually going to be playing some college football.
Yes, running back Nate Camaro, you know him as number 28. Second-string running back, usually comes in for Joel Johnson. Played a lot of football this season. He will not be with the Chaos anymore. He will be playing for Florida Atlantic next season. On television, you will be able to see him. And congratulations to Nate Camille, a hard worker. And I spoke with Mark Kunicki, the marketing director for the Chaos team, and he was telling me how excited the Chaos organization is for Nate Camille and how happy they are for him. And we wish you the best, Nate.
Yeah, definitely well-deserved. And I've gone to Florida Atlantic for hockey, for broadcasting, and it's in a really good area. It's going to be he's going to have a lot of fun there. Not just football, but outside of football too. That's a great area where he's going to be at.
A good area, an excellent opportunity for him to move forward in his football career, as well as is career in life and just moving forward, kind of learning new things, having new experiences and new opportunities.
And that's what you like to see happen with guys too, you know, especially, you know, guys with eligibility left. If they can go back or want to go back, why not go back? Or you know, maybe he's going there for the first time. I don't know his full history for his football playing career, but it's an awesome thing to see.
Definitely an excellent player for the Chaos. That he will be missed, but they have still C.J. Young.
They're still really deep at
still
running
real
back.
deep. C.J. Young is a completely different runner from Jarrell Johnson and Nate Camille, what those two brought to the table. C.J. Young is a power back, to say the least. He's a beast mode Marshawn Lynch kind of runner. Hard to bring down. I mean, you have to have multiple guys wrapping around him. He's not going to go down with hits. You have to wrap him up and stop those legs from moving.
Yeah, and it's always nice to have that little bit of a change of pace sort of back like that. I mean, when you had 3 guys who were that good, doesn't hurt at all.
Yeah, they're getting started now pretty soon. As you see the bikes start going, you can hear that. Bells are starting ringing. Excellent atmosphere here in Racine. These guys love their football.
And how can you not be excited? That's all I have to say, you know?
Well, I mean, really, this is, from a Chaos perspective, this is their biggest game of the year. I mean, this is a measuring stick for them. They really want to come out and prove that they can hang with these guys from Racine.
Yeah, I mean, their last showing against the team from the other league in Chicago, the Thunder, missing Ionati, they lose the game, but it was a close game.
It was, yeah, a 12-7.
Yes, very close game.
And the Chaos are known for their defense. Now, but their offense these last 2 weeks have really been clicking. Anthony Ionati this season, he's missed 2 games. He's still 3rd in the league in yards, 709 yards. He's thrown 10 touchdowns to only 3 interceptions. Excellent player is Ionati. Last week he tore up, had almost 400 yards passing. He threw 5 touchdowns, only 1 pick, and their offense against the #1 team then, Wisconsin Wolfpack, who were 5-0 coming in that game. Chaos were 4-1. Really just blew them out the game. An excellent game. They got the win, and now the Chaos lead standings in the GFL.
Yeah, we talked, I mean, it's really hard to say how much Ionati means to the offense of this team. They really, really needed him. They're back. They really didn't have a backup. Ionati was their guy.
No, that's one thing they want to have to address, at least for next season, is going out and finding a backup in case that comes up. I mean, give credit. They played hard. Every guy played really well. They played with a lot of heart, but they just could not get the job done. But now moving forward, you see how good their offense can be, along with that defense is already so dominant. It's going to be a very exciting team to watch the rest of the season as they make the playoff run.
Yeah, and the Raiders here, I mean, this is, like you said, it's a good measuring stick. This is a good team that's won a couple of championships in their time. I mean, it's going to be fun, and you got to love the atmosphere here. A 2 o'clock game, it's almost on a Sunday.
Exactly. I was so happy to hear that this game was going to be on Sunday. I love what Racine does, because the Sunday games kind of give you the NFL atmosphere, while the Chaos, they play the Friday night games, kind of a Friday night lights high school atmosphere, which is awesome in itself. But it's a new experience for us, Chris, as we get to broadcast our Chaos on a Sunday.
Yes, I'm sure the guys are excited to be playing during the day too. With great weather, that always helps out too when you're getting ready to play. A little bit hotter maybe than what they would like.
Last Friday, the Chaos in their victory over the Wolfpack, very rainy, very gloomy night. Excellent weather here today. Sun's shining, great football weather, getting ready for the 2 p.m. kickoff. Should be an excellent game. And the biggest part, though, most important thing for the Chaos, this is a measuring stick game to prove that they are for real and come out and play some good football against this Racine Raiders team.
A chance to just continue improving when you look at it for them, Cody. They're a very good team. I mean, just continue to work on the things you need to work on. That's what these games are for before you get into the playoffs and you really get things going.
Yes, that's for sure. The one thing the Chaos really have to watch out for in this game, though, is the special teams unit of this Racine Raiders. Their kickoff return team and their punt return team, you look at, they have two guys they like to send back there.
In the middle or the one on my right?
We're getting teams are holding up now. The Racine Raiders. I want to get really quick though. I want to tell you about this return team. It's Tyrone Galvin. He's averaging nearly 58 yards a punt return, Chris, and 2 touchdowns.
That's pretty incredible, and that's an area too we've seen sometimes where they need some help too. So good test for their special teams unit as well. As looks like we're going to step aside now for that national anthem.
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, please rise, honor our nation. Gentlemen, remove your caps as Brittany Dialli sings our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. God bless the USA.
So excellent job there for the national anthem singing. Getting ready to start this game now. About 3 minutes to kick off. I'm going to go over the officials today. Referee will be Joe Petrinitz. Umpire is Eric Rudiger. Head linesman is Adam Inklin. Side judge is John Purdy. The line judge is Jim O'Brien. And the field judge is Keith Turner. So we've got a 6-man crew here this afternoon. Both teams on their own sidelines getting ready as the chaos bring it in, and they break off. And the Racine Raiders getting ready to go. Their starting quarterback for today's game is a very good one in Craig McClellan, number 4. Chaos obviously go with number 10, Anthony Iannotti.
Yeah, and when you look at it for Craig, over 5 games, his 78.6 quarterback rating, a 45.4% completion percentage for 827 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. About 150 yards a game he averages. That's pretty good. And then you look, too, at their rushing leaders. They're totaling about 151 rushing yards a game, so a very run-heavy team. You've got Tyrone Galvin, Lashley, and Taylor. They're 3 running backs, total for 756 yards between them. They all average over 4 yards a carry, 7 for Galvin and 5.3 for Lashley.
Yeah, J.R. Taylor is the workhorse. He's had 75 attempts through 5 games this season. So over about 13 carries a game for him, and he's been getting the job done. 4.8 average, 4 touchdowns. He's had a rush of 50 as longest of the season, 359 yards total. So that's one thing the Chaos have been very good with this season, though, stopping the run and stopping the pass. So a very balanced team is the Racine Raiders, but they're going up against the best defense in the GFL. Should be very exciting to see.
Yeah, and we get to see right away too what can the Chicago Chaos do against this very dangerous return team of the Racine Raiders. So you get to see right off the bat. Another thing to point out too about their rushing game, 10 rushing touchdowns on the year already, 12 passing touchdowns. They're a very balanced team for Racine.
So we're getting ready to kick off here as Dominic Kozlowski sets the ball on the tee, goes back to kick off. Tyrone Galvin, the dangerous kick returner, back inside the 5-yard line to receive. As here we go, ready for football. Down to Kowalski, a squib kick, maybe a little trying to keep it away from Galvin as it's picked up at the 25 to the outside, breaks a tackle up to the 30, finally gets brought down across the 30, about the 31-yard line. So interesting move there by the Chaos. I think the right move. You do not want to put it in the hands of Tyrone Galvin as he's averaging.
Yeah, I think that was Daquan McGray was the one who ended up picking that ball up and being the one to return that. Not too good. I mean, you'll take that return from where the ball was from.
Exactly.
I mean, you're getting really good field position to start. As you saw him pick it up off the turf, able to break a couple of tackles. He actually got that extra yardage because of that. Otherwise, he would have been down probably at about the 25-yard line. And you would have taken that, honestly, if you're the Chicago Chaos, if you would have stopped in there. So
and
just got to shore up the tackling.
Daquan McCray has actually had a kick return for a touchdown this season. He averages 44 yards to return, so good special teams defense there by the Chaos. Chaos come out on defense on a 4-3. Out of the shotgun is Craig McClellan of the Raiders. 3 trips right. He looks downfield over the middle, pass to 45 at the 41-yard line. Cuts inside to the outside, across the 50, inside of Chaos territory on the play. Nice catch there by Chris Hicks, the tight end of this Racine Raiders offense, as he gets inside of Chaos territory in the first play of the game.
It was a good read there of seeing what the defense was going to do. They saw the hole, easy, quick throw. He knew where he was going the entire time. Real quick throw, and then a good job. Nick Olson almost takes that ball away, too. I think he's probably gonna be looking for that again next time if he sees the ball go into the hands of Chris Hicks again, because he left that out hanging for somebody to take it away from him.
That gain good for 21 yards. Next play out of the I form, hands it off to his running back, breaks to the outside. This is Tyrone Galvin. Breaks another tackle, getting pressured, now turning backwards, and gets brought down behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of about 4 yards there. Excellent defense pursuit there by the Chaos.
And a great job by Marvin Roan, because he was the initial player who reached the running back for Racine. And what does he do? He makes a good hit on the player, but you see he kind of bounces off of it. But right back to his feet gets Marvin Roan, and he gets back in on the play and helps take down the running back.
When we talk about Marvin Roan's physicality at the cornerback position, he's a hard-hitting defensive back, very aggressive. Excellent pursuit to the ball.
He's also a very good coverage corner. Even though he is that aggressive, he knows what he's supposed to do in defense. We've only seen him get beat once this year, and it was because of a ball that deflected. 2nd and
15 out of the shotgun. Gets it off, runs with it, gets a couple yards upfield. Was running back on the keeper, Craig McClellan, not a called keeper, but pressure was coming, and he had to just get out of there. Picks up a few yards, so makes it a 3rd and manageable compared to a 3rd and 15 on the 5-yard gain.
It's still a bit of a 3rd and long when you look at where they are. So, I mean, it looks like he maybe got back to the line of scrimmage for that one. So
yeah, about 3rd and 10 here.
Yeah, so it was a 2nd and 15, so now he got 5 yards. 3rd and 10, that's still a 3rd and long. But, I mean, good decision there by Craig McClellan. He really had nowhere to go.
So Craig McClellan out of the strong eye as he now out of 4 wide receiver spread, drops back, looks to his left, throws over the middle into triple coverage, caught by Sam Dalia at about the 32-yard line. So that will be a 1st down.
I think that was C.J. Young on the coverage there, and I don't know if he didn't see that the ball was coming. He was in a good position to play the ball. He was just late getting in on the play. I mean, like you said, there was a couple of players there in position, and it was C.J. Young was the one there. I don't know if he just had his head turned at the wrong time, so he didn't see when McClellan was throwing the ball, because he could have gotten his hand in there easily. He was staying with the receiver on the route, just didn't get his hand in the way.
That pass was good for 15 yards. Now McClellan out of the I form, 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 on the right, hands it off up the middle. Nick Olson there gets a hand on the jersey and brings him down. Nice tackle by Nick Olson behind the line of scrimmage, as really Tyrone Galvin had nowhere to go on that one.
You know what? He's a name that we say a lot. Is Nick Olson. And you see him getting in there as well. And just a good job shedding his block, getting to the running back, just getting in a position to try and make a play. He's able to get a hand on, and you see his strength because he pulls the player back, and that's a running back running away from you. That's hard to do.
Well, that's his 50th tackle of the season. He's 2nd in the GFL in tackles, playing that middle linebacker position. Now lined up as an outside linebacker. He really goes all over the field. Shotgun set, 2 wide receivers left, 1 wide receiver behind the right tackle. Dropping back, looks to the left, throws to the outside in the flat, caught at the 25, brought down at about the 21-yard line was Sam D'Elia, his second catch of the game. And that's going to pick up some positive yardage, almost in the red zone of the chaos.
Greg McClellan is doing a great job of spreading the ball around, finding the open receivers, people in the open areas or with mismatches there. There was definitely a mismatch there between, I believe that was that DJ Smith was the one who caught it, or was that
it was Sam D'Elia, but we have the right tackle of the Racine Raiders, Dusty Swenson, limps off the field. He's a captain for this team. A very good offensive lineman. We'll see what happens. Hopefully he is okay.
And that's something, too, that maybe Chicago can take advantage of. They have a very good defensive line, and if you give them a little bit when you lose a player that important, that could really make a difference.
So single back, big formation here for McClellan. Tosses it out to the right, across the 20 to the 15, cuts back inside, over to the 10-yard line, inside the 10, gets finally brought down to the 9-yard line, was Tyrone Galvin, who's having a very good first drive here for the Raiders.
Yeah, it looks like there's a flag on the field, though, so we're going to get the call for this one here in just a second. But that was a good run to the right by Galvin.
Yeah,
just found the hole and
got to be holding. That's got to be coming back. Usually the toss place. There it is.
Offense.
So 56 on the offense. That was Stephen Tucker. And now Stephen Tucker did not start this game. He just came in there for their starting right tackle, Dusty Swenson. So we see that take effect very early as you look at Tucker right there on the bottom of your left of your screen. Can't see it anymore, but you saw a clear hold. Good call there by the official.
And that flag brought to you by Tucker Flags, personalized penalty flags and challenge flags. Great fundraising tool and the official flag of the GFL. Visit them at tuckerflags.com.
Now Craig McClellan out of the I form, 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to his right. He hands it off to Galvin. Galvin to the left, getting some yards upfield to the 20, inside the 20 now. And good blocking there by the Raiders offensive line, and gets Galvin into the second part of the field as he gets past the 20 back into red zone territory.
Now that wasn't just good blocking, that was also great vision by Galvin because he cut back up. He was going up one hole and he came back out of it and then bumped out to the outside and got himself probably another 5, 6, 7 yards extra because of it. Got into that second level of the defense because of it. But of course, great blocking up front because he was already a few yards up the field where that hole was that he was going to try running through anyways.
So it'll be a 2nd and 6 as Craig McClellan calls for a timeout. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with you on SportsTownChicago.com.
Friends, this is Tom Waddle. You may know me as good old number 87 or as the better half of the Waddle and Sylvie show. People often ask me, hey, Tom, how could you be so slow and make it in football? Well, I ignore that question, and then they ask, Tom, how can I be on radio and TV like you? I tell them it takes drive and determination, and you need to learn how it all works. At the Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard, you can do just that. ICB is enrolling students for day and evening classes right now. You can learn how to be a sports talk show host, a producer, do play-by-play, or shoot and edit video. Plus, you'll have a chance to get internships where you can tap into the knowledge of industry pros. They have affordable tuition and financial aid for those who qualify. And with job placement assistance, you can start your new career in less than a year. Go to beonair.com/Chicago Sports. See what the Illinois Center for Broadcasting has to offer. Visit ICB today. beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
If you want to take SportsTownChicago.com with you, now you can.
Welcome back as the Racine Raiders have a 2nd and 6 here. Craig McClellan called a timeout. Did not like we saw the defense. 2 wide receivers to the left. Hands it off to Galvin in the backfield. Nick Olson brings him down for no gain on the play. Nick Olson's all fired up.
We keep saying his name. It's funny. I should get used to saying Nick Olson's name after just, I mean, this is only the 2nd game for the Chaos I've been able to do this year, but he's always around the ball. Great pursuit wherever it is, whether it's backside or what. I mean, you look at it already in this game for Olson. He already has 3 solo tackles.
Yeah, I mean, by the end of the season, I picture him being first in the league in tackles.
First or second. I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up being in first.
So here we go, 3rd down here as Craig McFarland out of the shotgun, 4 wide receivers spread. He's got Galvin in the backfield alongside with them. He drops back, looks over to the right, throws over the middle, caught at about the 7-yard line, and he found a seam between that zone of the Chaos defense, and McClellan found him.
Well, it was a crossing route on the right side that got him open for, I believe it was Hicks was the one, as it was just a sort of like a good little pick play as he saw the receivers cross routes, and there's just a little bit of confusion of who was to take who, and that was enough time for them to get open.
It was Dorian Palmer with the reception on that for the Raiders. Now it would be a 1st and goal from the 7-yard line.
Sorry,
Craig McClellan.
That was Hicks we crossed with.
Hicks he crossed. So McClellan under center, toss out to the outside to Galvin. Pressure coming from the Chaos, brings him down at about the 10-yard line, maybe behind the 10, at about the 11. So loss on the play. Good defense there by the Chaos on the outside.
Yeah, and you can clearly see that he's a guy they want to get into space and let him work. He's got some pretty good moves. The unfortunate part there was the receiver on the far side couldn't hold his block long enough. It was a good job getting around. I think it was Marvin Roan.
Yeah, so that is the 3rd pitch play they have called. Like, to your point, Chris, they like to get this guy out in space. He's their punt returner, kick returner, and running back. So you want to get the guy the ball, let him do his thing.
It doesn't work, though, if your receiver doesn't hold his block long enough. And you got to give a lot of credit to Marvin Roan, too, because he really disengaged his block really well.
So 2nd and goal from the 11-yard line. Dropping back, throws to the right. Single coverage in the end zone, goes up, could not make the catch. Throw a little bit high. Coverage on the play for the Chaos was number 31, Christian Grantham. As
I want to have a job in something I love doing. ICB has so many cool things they offer for me and their students. With the amount of stuff you can learn at ICB, there's no way you won't succeed. You can even host your own radio show. Go to beonair.com/Lombard to enroll now. That's beonair.com/Lombard.
If it's the David Palma, I think he's a Bartlett product.
You know that you're Bartlett products, don't you, Chris?
Yeah, I played flag football against him too.
So 3rd down and goal here from the 11-yard line. Out of the shotgun is Craig McClellan. Moves in motion is Sam D'Elia to the left. McClellan drops back, looks left, now over to the right. Scrambles out of the pocket, being chased down. Does get away. Keeps his eyes, goes to the end zone, and caught by Sam D'Ali, who got behind the defender of the Chaos, trying to figure out who it was, and that was a broken down play, but a very good throw there from quarterback Craig McClellan as he finds Sam D'Elia, who continues to move in the back of the end zone and floats one in there for a touchdown.
Well, here's the thing for McClellan. He kept his eyes upfield. He almost crossed over the line of scrimmage, too. He was very close to that line. And just looking here, like you said, it was a broken down play. Blair actually cut in front of the route but jumped too early. It was tough to see the number. I think it might have been Dylan Hunter. It was a little tough to see his number, though.
Number 12, Dylan Hunter, was on the coverage, I believe. It was
number
number
18. So
Brennan Zeller, Ricky Jerset, the linebacker, just mistimed the ball.
Yeah, he just mistimed it. He cut the route. It looked like he was going to have an interception, and this was going to be going back the other way.
Yes.
But we have a flag here, it looks like.
The youth football season is right around the corner.
So the extra point is, believe he did put the signal up for a good extra point.
Yeah.
As the return team now for the Chaos coming out onto the field. 7-0, Raiders with a lead. 7:05 to go here in the first. So Chaos offense has some work to do. And the Chaos defense have to go back to the drawing board. They had the Raiders in some good situations on 3rd downs that they just could not stop them from picking up the first.
That was a very good first drive, though, for Racine.
It was.
It was very methodical.
A lot of credit. They really picked apart the Chaos defense. Chaos defense, though, they'll be back out next time, and you know they are going to want to shut them down the next time out.
It was very methodical the way that they went down the field, and it was very balanced offensively and defensively. I mean, a lot of passing plays and a lot of rushing plays as well. 7 rushing plays, 6 passing plays, so they kept it very even. And when you look at their stats, that's sort of what you expect because they're pretty even for their stats for offense or for rushing and passing.
Yeah, Sam D'Ali, he had 3 catches on that drive for 39 yards, including that touchdown. So kicking off now back to return as McFarland picks it up, stumbles across the 15. Now a fumble on the play, picked up by Racine, I believe. And waiting for the official to signal. I believe the Raiders have it, though. And no, the Chaos did come at Brockman. Michael Brockman, savior for the Chaos there as he
touchdown.
dives
So
on the
kicking
ball
off
now. Back
Chaos
to return
possession
as so no harm, no foul there. Picks it up,
Stumbles about what would have been chaos, and no pun intended there. But
yes.
if you turn the ball over there after an offense that really just is coming off a high of getting a good long touchdown drive to give them a short field, that they would have been chomping at the bit. So good job to get on top of that ball for the Chaos. Let their offense get out there. Let Ionati get to work and try and get this game back tied up.
Yeah, so the Chaos come out on offense for the first time today against the Racine Raiders defense, who play a 4-3. Ionati out of the shotgun, 4 wide receiver spread. Jarrell Johnson in the backfield, Brockman on the outside left. Ionati hands to Johnson up the middle, nowhere to go. Wrestled down for no gain on the play. Be 2nd and 10 coming back for the Chaos.
Yeah, there's just no hole for him to run through. It was a good job by the defensive line for Racine to not allow anything through the middle, which is where it looked like the Chaos were trying to go.
Okay.
And it was, I believe it was Pierre Smith was one of the defensive linemen, a big defensive lineman there in the middle, clogging up that lane.
And this defensive line of Racine is very big against a undersized, very efficient offensive line of the Chicago Chaos. So Ionati out of the gun. He's got trips to his left as Former now moves in motion to the right. Ionati takes the snap, looks to Former in the flat, caught at the 23, makes a move up to the 25. Get forward progress there as they will spot that at around the 25-yard line. So it makes it a 3rd and manageable here for the Chaos.
Pretty good play there for the Chaos. They knew exactly where they wanted to go with the ball. Nice job to at least gain an extra yard, too, on the run after the catch for Former.
So the ball was placed just past the 25-yard line as Ionati, with his first completion of the game, goes to his favorite target, James Former, who is first in the league with 21 catches now, 22 catches. He has 6 touchdowns and a total of 336 yards. Ionati out of the gun, 4 wide receiver spread, their favorite formation to run. Johnson in the backfield alongside Ionati. Waits for the snap, takes it, takes the hand of Johnson, runs to the right, quarterback keeper across the 30, to the 40, across the 50, across the 40, 30, 20. Can he go all the way? Stumbles in. Touchdown, Anthony Ionati on the run, waiting for a flag. No flags called. That's good. 6 points. Ionati goes, wow, unbelievable, about 70-yard run, 75-yard run for the quarterback, Anthony Ionati.
That was definitely a designed run. He definitely, that was the plan the entire way, as that was the play before you saw there. But on that running play there, he tucked that. He knew what he was doing the entire time. There was no throw. They had that extra blocking on the right side, and then the seam opened up, and Ionati a lot faster than what people may realize. He's a very good runner, and he takes that one to the house.
He's a very athletic quarterback, and Chris, designed play for sure. He faked the handoff to Real Johnson, and the Racine defense had no idea that Ionati was going to break out to the right.
Well, you think because he's such a good thrower that that's his main weapon, but he also has his legs, and that's what you see happen there. He just explodes through the hole that was created on that right side, and having a chance to get him was number 30 and Torrey Ruffin, and Ruffin just couldn't quite get there as that extra point goes through.
So 7-7 here in an exciting first quarter. Chaos taking 3 plays to score. Racine methodically moved the ball downfield on their first drive with an excellent drive for them, putting up the first 6 points of the game. So now 7-7 here in the first 5 minutes, 6 seconds to take one more play, one more look at Ionati's 75-yard touchdown run.
I mean, that was...
He almost stumbled there.
Well,
that's he was able to stay in.
Like I said, just getting a Ruffin, he got a piece of him, but not enough. Good job by Ionati to keep his feet after he got tangled up a little bit there as he was running. So you have to give a lot of credit to Ionati on that one, and definitely the blocking to open that hole for him. And
go ahead.
The Chaos family now includes the Chicago Force women's tackle football team, which is in their 13th season and including 9 division titles, 3 conference championships, and 1 national championship. The women's sport features a full gear 11-on-11 NFL-style game. In the 2015 season, they are now 7-1. The Force have outscored their opponents 477 to 52. On Saturday, June 27th, the Force beat the Cleveland Fusion 71 to 12.
Wow, congratulations to the Force. There's a couple of Force players here today helping out with the Chaos.
That's awesome. Go see them. They're nationally and internationally ranked.
And you see another squib kick picked up at the 30 and hit by his own player, and then finally wrapped up at the 32-yard line to the 33, maybe the 34, finally brought down on the play with Saquon McCray. So the Chaos have come out with these squib kicks, showing they do not want the ball in the hands of Tyrone Galvin, the running back, kick returner, and punt returner of this Racine Raiders team.
We've already seen how dangerous Galvin can be just with him in the running game. So, yeah, you don't want to give him that extra space. A good job there. I thought Marvin Roan was going to blow that play up a little bit sooner than when it happened, but a good job on the pursuit by the kicking team for the Chaos to at least limit their. Yes, they're getting good field position, but they're limiting the amount of yardage that this kicking team is getting.
Yeah, good field position for sure from the 34-yard line, their own 34-yard line, as McClellan comes out in a weak I formation. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. 4-3 defense for the Chaos. Hand off to the fullback right up the middle. Brought down after a good gain. Connor Flannery picked up a few yards on that one.
For more information on the Chicago Force, go to www.chicagoforcefootball.com. And, yeah, like you were saying there, Cody, a good run up the middle. Their running game, that's what really is kind of the thing that gets them going. Their passing game just complements it so well, too. They're so good on both sides for rushing and passing.
Now Craig McClellan out of the strong eye, with tight end in the left, 1 wide receiver on either side, hands it off up the middle, and hit at about the 40-yard line and pushed back on the play. So that was on the run there, was Tyrone Galvin again for no gain on the play. It will be a 3rd down and 5.
I think the biggest thing right now that if you're the Chicago Chaos that you want to see from your defense is some more consistency, because you'll see they'll make some of these great plays and then they'll make some not so good plays. You got to stay a little more consistent here and try and stop one of these drives. You do get a 3rd down here, but now you have to force them to have to punt. It's still a 3rd and short.
So Craig McClellan under center, throws to the left on the flat, picked at the 14 across the 50-yard line, was number 14 on the play, Steve Morris, and it looked like the defender, Christian Grantham of the Chaos, slipped and fell on the play, and he could not get back to make the quick tackle. I'm sorry, number 11 on the play was Jason Sumling, plays wide receiver for the Chaos, playing some defensive back on that one. So 1st down for the Raiders.
I think it was actually 17. That is a little bit of a weird-looking 7, though.
Oh, yes.
And that's David Palmer. And here's the thing, too. The cornerbacks for Chicago right now are playing off the ball, and they're looking just for those quick underneath passes as part of it.
So on that run was J.D. Hardy coming in and playing some running back as he gets over, Ivory Lashley. Ivory Lashley this season, you brought him up. He's averaging 5.3 yards a carry, Chris, on 27 attempts through 5 games. And he has that 1 touchdown. So this running team, very similar to the Chaos. They use a lot of different running backs in the backfield, mix them up a ton, and give a lot of different guys some more opportunities.
Yeah, some different running styles by the running backs as well, which helps them out too.
So Craig McClellan from the own 36 hands it back to Lashley outside. A couple Chaos players fall, but finally brought down, hit out of bounds at maybe about the 34-yard line of the Chaos, 35-yard line, see where they mark it. So picking up some positive yardage again there is Lashley.
I think they might give it to them.
Very close to the 1st down.
But it looks like they're going to give a timeout. It looks like Chicago called a timeout is what it is. I think that they might give him the 1st down there. Well, they've got it marked as 3rd down right now, but that's very close. I'm surprised they don't measure that one. It looks like it's very close to being a 1st down if it's not.
Yeah, you know what? They're going to measure him just a little bit short, about 6 inches short. So it's going to be a 3rd and inches. Big play today, even though it's only the 1st quarter. You have a tie ball game here, 7-7. Both offenses have looked very good. Anthony Iannotti's 75-yard touchdown run, and you talk about the score for the Racine Raiders was Craig McClellan's pass to Sam D'Elia, really on a broken play, but we talked about Craig McClellan. He does an excellent job staying in the pocket, keeping his eyes downfield. He's a very good quarterback, and he just kind of floated that ball over. Perfect pass, making the catch for Sam D'Elia for the first score of the game earlier in the first quarter.
And this timeout is brought to you by Party Guard Chicago. They are an all-inclusive tour operating company that promotes responsible entertainment. For all your transportation and event planning needs, go to www.partyguardchicago.com.
So 3rd and inches here as Racine comes to the line of scrimmage. The Raiders, Craig McClellan under center. In the backfield is Lashley. He has 3 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Is a quarterback keeper. Pushes forward, easily gets the first down. He got plenty of yards there, about 5 on the play as he gets to the 30-yard line. And really, when you have a 3rd and inches like that, that's probably the best play to call as a quarterback keeper.
Yeah, I don't think he has the speed of Iannotti, but McClellan is definitely a guy who can move his feet pretty well. We've seen him already escaping from the pocket and doing some great things with his arm when he has some time and room. So he's definitely a guy that's going to be able to get those couple yards on the sneak that you need.
So now out of the strong eye, Craig McClellan and the Raiders. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 on the left. Hands off to Lashley up the middle. Hit in the backfield, then brought down. And first on the play was number 78 of the Chaos. Trying to see who that was. Maybe Jonathan Pope.
Yeah, it was Jonathan
got in
Pope.
there. He got in there first, laid the first hit, and then finally brought down. It was Robert Albino, excuse me. Robert Albino had the first hit and then brought down in the backfield. So good play there by the Chaos, their front line. You talk about you want to see more consistency with the Chaos. They make these great plays. And then I don't know what happens, Chris, but maybe they just cannot. They have a lapse in the defense. And
I wouldn't say it's been a lapse some of the times. I think it's just some of the times that the Racine Raiders are taking advantage of what the defense is giving them.
So Craig McClellan out of the strong guy. Throws a floater to the right side, overthrows it. Intended receiver on the play was Steve Morris. And good coverage there by the Chaos number 21. Quinnell Johnson was all over Morris.
Yeah, he was really the guy who stopped that from me. He was actually, I think, the closest to the ball as well. So definitely a good job there for the Chaos not to allow that play down the deep side. And you know what? With it being a 3rd and short, or well, it was a 2nd and short, they could take that play, try for that deep ball.
So now, here we go. Out of the shotgun is Craig McClellan. 4 wide receiver spread. Lashley in the backfield on the left side as McClellan drops back, stands straight up, gets pressure, kind of steps up a little bit, throws over the middle, caught to the 25, cut inside of 20, inside the 15, finally brought down on the play. Number 9, wide receiver DJ Smith. As simple cross route over the middle. Chris, what happened on this play?
Well, here's the thing. Again, not some bad pressure. I mean, they were putting some pressure on McClellan, but he's really good in the pocket. He steps to the right and then steps up, and that gives him that extra second that he needed for his receiver in Smith to get open, and then he delivers a great ball over the middle to get the yardage.
Yeah, give credit to Ricky Jerset on that play, making the tackle, really a touchdown-saving tackle. As time's starting to wind down here, they're going to call for the first quarter. So 7-7, tie game here in Racine, Wisconsin. We are at historic Horlick Athletic Field. One of the best teams, the Racine Raiders, in the MSFL, and against the best teams in the GFL, Chicago Chaos.
Yes, great game so far. A fun game. I mean, tied at 7. We've had some explosive plays on both sides of the ball. It's just been a lot of fun so far. And, of course, if you want to have some fun, there's always the Greater Chicago Flag Football League based in Melrose Park, Illinois. Co-ed ages 5 to 18, powered by NFL Flag. NFL Play 60, USA Football, and NFL PPK. For more information, go to www.chicagoflagfootball.com. Cody, when I look at that first quarter, the defense of Chicago giving up a lot more yardage maybe than what they're used to. But part of the reason why is they're seeing one of the most balanced and best offenses they've seen.
Well, this is a different team that the Chaos are used to playing. You see the quarterback play of Craig McClellan. He does not panic when pressure comes to him. He stays tough. He stays in that pocket. He can move around, too. He's not the athlete Ayanati, but he is very smart in where the pressure is coming from. He knows the position he has to get to and keeps his eyes downfield. To your point, Chris, what you mentioned early, he's always looking downfield.
Yes, vision is so important as a quarterback, and he just knows where his receivers are going to be. He's on the same page as most of his receivers, and that's just as important as the vision and everything else. You have to know where they're going to be. So even if you're looking, you still got to know where they're going to be.
And hand off to Lashley to the right. Upfield, gets brought down at about the 10-yard line. So gains a couple of yards on the play. Team switch sides here to start the second. And there's some, it was like a flag on the field.
Flag definitely came out. I'm not sure who it's going to be on. We'll find out here in a second. But when you look at that run, it was a good job of the pursuit of Chicago to get over there to not allow Lashley to turn that corner.
Sportsmanlike conduct, number 17 of the defense. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
So that was David Palma, defensive back for the Chaos on sportsmanlike conduct, trying to see where it was on the play.
First and goal for the
I couldn't tell where it was. Kind of
from
tough to see
from
our angle,
it,
kind of hard to see it. But referees have done an excellent job here today. I'm sure it was the right call.
I mean,
so that's going to be half the distance to the goal line now.
I think that's only our third flag in the game, too.
Yes.
It's been a very
clean
a good pace.
Game.
Yeah, it's
really
a good,
been a good pace.
But also good play on both sides where you don't really need the flag to come out. So you don't want to see the unsportsmanlike there, especially they're getting down inside the goal line.
Hand off to Lashley up the middle, and he powers over for a touchdown on the play. Quinnell Johnson had a chance. Could not stop it from getting in there as Lashley scores for his first touchdown run of the game, the first rushing touchdown for the Raiders of the game. Makes it 13-7. Let's take one more look at that run out of the I form for the Raiders.
Good lead blocking up in front, and Lashley just powers through the hole off tackle and gets into the end zone for the touchdown to give Racine the lead once again. So now the Chicago offense is going to have to come back out here and answer once again. But when you look at it here, it's it's not often that you see a team that really has been as balanced as they have been. 24 plays, 15 rushes, 9 passing plays. I mean, a little bit favoring their running game, but their running game is working. That's why they already have 40 yards rushing in the game on those 15 plays.
And they really have used their running game to set up the passing game when they have had to, and they've proven they can convert these third downs, whether it be third and short or third and long. They've been able to pick it up. So Ivory Lashley gets in for his second touchdown of the season, and the extra point was good. So 14-7 Raiders.
The Chicago Chaos Football non-for-profit minor league football team. Visit their updated site at www.chicagochaosfootball.com. The Chaos, thanks to them, we're here. And it's been a fun day so far, and they trail right now. But the one thing that they do have going very well for them, their offense.
Yes, they've only had 3 plays.
Right, but they had a scoring play off of one of them, and a 70-yard run touchdown.
Anthony Ayanati on a design quarterback run. It was on a 3rd and 5, so kind of risky, but it shows you the confidence they have in Ayanati as a runner as well as a passer.
Well, it just shows, too, the difference in dynamic when he's out there, though, too. I mean, having just somebody who can only run with somebody who can run and pass, it's a big difference.
So Justin Sheppy kicking off for the Raiders. Nice kick. James Former has to back up, takes it from his own 2-yard line to the left, has some blockers across the 30, finally gets brought down, pulled down by his jersey at the 25-yard line, excuse me. So good return there by James Former. It will set the Chaos up with some good field position from their own 25 as their offense comes back out onto the field.
That was a nice job by Torrey Ruffin. I mean, it's very hard to bring a guy that strong down like that, the way that he did, to just grab onto his jersey and yank him back. So a very nice tackle that he did on the Former, but a good return by Former, though, too. He saw where his blocking was. It was a designed run to the left. He got there and at least got his team a good gain. And
we've called Torrey Ruffin's name a few times today. He's got 2 tackles now on the on the afternoon for the Raiders. Anthony Iannotti, we talked about, leads the team in rushing right now, 75 yards on one carry.
Yeah, that's a 75-yard average, too.
Yes. So Iannotti.
I don't think it's going to stay that high,
I don't think so either. Iannotti out of the gun. McFarland, Former on the right. He's got Brockman and Hampton on the left. Jarrell Johnson in the backfield alongside Iannotti. Takes the snap, looks to the right, throws over them. He's got Former caught at the 40, across the 50, down inside Raiders territory. There's a flag out at the 20, at the 10. Walking into the touchdown, but there was a flag that was thrown at the 40-yard line. I think that's going to come back.
That's going to be on Josh Hampton with a push in the back is what they're going to call. Really, I don't even think he needed to do it. He was trying to get him in the shoulder, and he didn't get there. It was unnecessary. This is going to bring this play back. It's still going to be a big gain, but not as big as it could be.
Illegal block in the back, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. 1st and 10, Chaos.
So still a good play there for the Chaos. I mean, you want a touchdown. If you take one more look at that play, and there's the penalty right there, Chris. It really didn't need to do that, as Former can outrun almost anybody.
And he just missed getting him into the side, as you saw in the replay there. He was about a half a step away from that being a legal block. As you see, he makes the contact in the numbers. As soon as they see that they're throwing the flag, doesn't matter if you were kind of on the side. You're hitting the numbers, that's a flag. And
it still goes at a 22-yard gain.
Yes.
But, I mean, 22 compared to a 75 and a touchdown would have been 2 75-yard plays in the same game. But it's good to see the Chaos offense really getting going here as they come back out 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line. Iannotti out of the gun, 4 wide receiver spread. He's got Johnson in the backfield alongside him. He fakes the play to Johnson outside of Hampton on the screen pass. Gets upfield, finally brought down at about the 48-yard line, so picks up about 3 yards on the play. As Josh Hampton, we said his name, previous play, he was called for the block in the back, which negated that touchdown. Josh Hampton last week had a 99-yard touchdown reception on a screen pass that came out of the old end zone for the Chaos. Very dynamic player, as really the 4th-string receiver on this Chaos team. That's why I talk about how deep this receiving core is for the Chaos.
And that was Torrey Ruffin again on that play there. That was an arm tackle that he did, a very strong arm tackle. I mean, Ruffin's a guy that you really got to do a good job if you want to try and get around him. Even if you do beat him a little bit, he's able to stay with you pretty well.
Iannotti, pressure coming, just gets rid of that one. On the outside was defensive back Steve Kleist coming in for the Raiders, and he was untouched. And Iannotti felt the pressure, came from a strong side, saw him in the corner, and threw that away.
Yeah, that was a really good job. I mean, you saw that he was coming off the edge, and there was no blocking there to stop him or even chip him or anything. So it was a good job by Iannotti recognizing that as the snap happened and knowing that he had to get rid of that ball fast. Otherwise, that would have been blown up in the backfield, and that would have been a pretty good loss of yards.
2nd down and 8 here for the Chaos. Trips to the left. He's got McFarland, lone receiver on the right, as he moves Former now into the slot on the right. Iannotti takes the snap, looks left, throws the flat, dropped at about the 46-yard line. Was Josh Hampton trying to haul it in, just couldn't. It was on the hands, but just slipped off. Excuse me, that was 3rd and 8. So now a 4th down here, decision time for the Chaos, as they looks like they're going to send Dominic Kozlowski out to punt this away.
And this is a tough play to have to punt on. It looked like there was an opportunity for a play to be made there on the left side, but this is a team that has scored every time their offense has gotten onto the field. So you really wanted to try and give your defense a little bit of time to rest and get ready to go back out there. But their defense is probably going to be up for the challenge anyway.
Yes, and we talked about the return game, the return talent of this Racine Raiders team. Back to return is Tyrone Galvin, who's got 2 punt returns, touchdowns on the season. The punt is picked up by Ruffin, number 30. Swings by a defender, across the 30 to the 35, over to the 40, breaks down the sideline, across the 50, finally hit out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Nice return there by Ruffin, and now the Racine Raiders will have excellent field position on the Chaos side of the field.
And really that play from earlier that got called back because of the holding is starting to become one of those plays that when you look at this game at the end, that may be one that you say that was the deciding factor. That might end up being what happens with the way this game seems to be
still
going.
A lot of time left, but Josh Hampton cannot feel good about this one. give him credit. He was trying to make the correct play. He was making a teammate play, trying to get an extra block. So Josh Hampton, very good player for this team. I'm sure he will make it up to the Chaos after that. So coming out of the I form now, fakes the pitch, heads off the fullback, brought down by Nick Olson after a 2-yard gain was Connor Flannery.
I want football 365.
I do too, Chris.
365 days a year. They cover football all around the Wizard world. Visit them on Facebook for the perfect news feed, www.iwantfootball365.com.
This will be a second down here from the 38-yard line of the Chaos as the Raiders break huddle. Out of the shotgun, Craig McClellan. He's got 2 tight ends in there. Moving to the left in motion is his tight end, Chris Hicks. Pitched over to Galvin on the outside, across the 35 to the 30. Brought down at about the 27-yard line as the Raiders continue to dominate possession and run the ball primarily with their lead runner, Tyrone Galvin.
He is really dangerous on those sweep plays like that to the open side of the field. You give him some room to run. He's really fast, and he can make a couple of moves. There he didn't really make any moves to get where it was all his speed to gain all that yardage.
Yes, he just came out of the outside, and the Chaos had no one over there. He was just able to break it outside and pick up some positive yardage. So out from the 26-yard line.
Didn't see if their line, it looked like maybe their line, it was a counter as well, too. It looked like their line was pushing to the left, and he just ran to the right.
Craig McClellan out of the gun, looking left, throws one in the end zone up top. Single coverage, caught. Touchdown, Raiders, number 17, Terrence Fitch, for about a 25-yard touchdown throw and catch from Craig McClellan.
When McClellan was looking that way the entire way, I mean, he barely even got the ball, and he was already throwing it. Trying to see what happened here on that play, it was really tough from that angle to see what had happened because it looked like Marvin Roan was with him for the most part, and he just got a step on Marvin Roan, and that's what the line was pushing there. To the left.
So now 20-7, Raiders lead
out of
the gun, looking left,
point,
throws one in the end zone up top, single cover. Touchdown throw. Marvin Roan just got a little bit beat on that play, could not stay with him.
It was hard to see, though, how he got beat was the only thing. That we didn't get to see him from the line to see what had happened for Marvin to get beat. We don't have, I don't have the best view of that side of the field from where we are in the booth. But, I mean, that's the guy who you usually don't see get beat like that.
Yeah, so tough start here, tough quarter after a very promising first quarter. The Raiders have scored twice, and the Chaos, they had the touchdown, 75-yard touchdown to Former called back on a block in the back and had to punt it away, and the Raiders came down and scored. They have now scored on 3 straight drives, on 3 for 3 today, scoring touchdowns, 21-7 now.
Do you want updates on the Midwest Minor League Association? Just go to their Facebook page. Go to Facebook and search Midwest Minor League Association. And when you look at that too, Cody, I mean, here's the thing right now for the Racine Raiders. They scored on every possession that they've had so far in this game. And for a very proud defense like the Chicago Chaos, that's really tough to handle. They're not going to let that continue, I'm pretty sure. They're too proud of a team. But they need to do that anyways, just if they want to stay in this game, because if they let this team continue to roll, they will.
Yeah, still plenty of time left. You were only in the second quarter. It's only a 2-possession game, but you have to get a spark going, and hopefully this offense can provide it and get their defense pumped up for when they come back out on the field. So kicking off now for the Raiders is number 34, Josh Seffi, as he's a little onside boot and pushed in the back and taken by the Raiders, fumbling out of bounds. And I think that's going to go to the Chaos. The ball came out of bounds. It was not in possession, so the Chaos will return, but dangerous play there.
That was a smart play, though. I know what they were trying to do. It was a very smart play. They almost got it. Almost worth the try. I mean, it was worth the try. Your defense has played great
now for the
so
Raiders,
far, other than that 75-yard touchdown.
And just holding on your breath here, right here, Chris, as the Raiders almost came up with that. Was Ruffin, I believe, again. And excellent hit there from Brockman of the Chaos as that ball was fumbled out of bounds. So remaining possession with the Chaos as their offense comes back out.
Yeah, there was never clear possession of the ball, and since it hit off of a Racine player.
You talk about Brockman has saved 2 turnovers now for the Chaos.
Yes,
earlier in the game, that fumble, and now this one.
That was a huge one, too,
yes.
because you're already sort of reeling from what just happened. And if you were to lose the ball again, that could have been very deflating.
Chaos out of the gun, hands off to Johnson. He finds a little hole, breaks forward, and brought down at the 36-yard line. And that's Ruffin again on the tackle. He's been all over the field for this Raiders defense.
If I'm the Chaos, any side of the field that Ruffin is on, I'm avoiding.
You try to avoid it, go to the other side.
He has really been everywhere on the field, and he's a defensive back too. It's not like he's a linebacker that's flying everywhere. He's a defensive back, so he has further that he has to go most of the time to get to these areas. But he's very strong. I want to see if they maybe can try and take advantage of him in the passing game. He seems very good going downhill, but what happens when he's having to backpedal and try and go into coverage?
So the Chaos out of the gun. Brockman on the outside of the left with McFarland as Hampton and Former on the right. Johnson in the backfield. Ionati moves Former in motion to the left, so you got trips left now. Throws a screen to Former. He catches it 35, across the 40, to the 45 to the 50. Slides down, losing his footing. That's going to be a first down. Chaos into Raiders territory. And that's what they like to do with Former, the Chaos. They like to give him the ball at the line of scrimmage, behind the line of scrimmage, little screen passes, little dump passes in the flat, let him do his thing. As we take a look at that replay.
Well, Former's got to be their go-to guy, I think, today. He's already had the best start for the receiving core. Keep getting him the ball in space however you can do it. That's a good way to create an opportunity for him as well, but also looking for him downfield in the passing game is something I want to see too, not just the screen game.
Anthony Ionati now is 4 for 6 with 56 yards. Had the longest completion of the game was 32. Out of the gun now, 4 wide receiver spread as Brockman moves in motion from left to right. Ionati takes the snap, looks to the right, throws over to Brockman, caught at about the 45-yard line. That'll be a 3-yard gain. Make it 2nd and 7 now for the Chaos.
That was a beautiful catch, too. He knew that pressure was coming onto his back and was able to hold the ball through the collision.
Well, that's one thing we really haven't seen. We haven't seen much of the Chaos offense today. Obviously, that first drive only taken 3 plays. The play of Brockman, Matthew Brockman, the wide receiver, I think he has the best hands on this team. Very physical, very tall. You can throw it up in space. He's going to go grab it. And you talk about the play with Former and McFarland, you know, the little guys, the speed guys, the guys you get in the open field, let them do their thing.
Well, you have to attack this defense in more than one way, too. You can see they're a very good defense as well. We talked so much about the Chaos defense, but a very good defense on the Racine Raiders side.
So Ionati out of the gun, throws on a slant pass to McFarland behind him. McFarland cannot haul it in. So 3rd down for the Chaos is coming.
And McFarland, too, I mean, perfect break on the route. It was just a little bit thrown behind by Ionati. Timing a little bit off. I mean, it's been a couple weeks now, so the timing is still getting there. It's still not where they were before the injury.
Yes, and you know this Racine Raiders team is the real deal. They're an excellent football team, and we talked about this earlier, Chris. This is really a measuring stick game for the Chaos. Let's see what they can do. It's time to prove to everybody how good you are. So let's get going. As Ionati out of the gun, trips right. Johnson in the backfield with him. He throws a screen to Former, gets some blocks. Former breaks inside, wrestled down at about the 41-yard line, so short of the first down. And decision time again. There's a flag on the play.
That was
false start, I believe.
2 for the Chaos from the Raider 40-yard line.
Well, they haven't.
No, they haven't said anything.
But I did see this false start signal there.
So I guess not.
But the ball stayed.
Yeah, ball stays there. So
okay.
So it's going to be 4th down here.
So something that people might not be used to is the false start. Usually that'll make it
They
an
don't
instant,
blow it dead.
Right. It's
yes.
not a dead ball here.
So big play here for the Chaos from the 40-yard line of the Raiders. Out of the gun is Ionati, 4 wide receiver spread. Takes the handoff to Johnson, now runs it himself and brought down at the 38, 37-yard line. He's going to be short.
It's going to be on the spot. It's very close. I think he may have gotten it. I think it's going to be a first down.
I didn't realize where. I think he did.
I think he got it. And they've already got the one
First
on
look,
there.
I think he was short. It was an excellent spot
I think the spot was right. It looked like it was in the right spot. Actually, that might be even shorter of a spot than what where it looked like he had gotten to.
Good play, and that was the same design play they called on the other third down. Obviously, his touchdown run was to the outside. That was more to the middle, but it was an Ionati run, and it worked out perfectly on that fourth down.
And you needed that one. You need to keep your offense on the field. Let your defense stay on the sideline a little bit longer.
Ionati out of the gun. McFarland moves in motion. The screen pass to McFarland, caught behind the line of scrimmage and hit hard at the 39-yard line by number 26, J.D. Hardy of the Raiders.
You know what? The crowd really got into that hit, but I love seeing McFarland just bounce right back up like that. You always like to see that from a player after a big hit like that because it kind of, the crowd's like, ooh, but when you get up that fast, it kind of takes a little bit of the wind out of the sails.
McFarland not showing any pain as you saw Ionati and Brockman over on the opposite field talking to head coach Mike Melody, going over the game plan, trying to figure something out. The Raiders defense has been very good today. Let's see one more time that hit. Was a big one, but McFarland gets right back up.
Well, the problem with that more than anything was a little bit behind McFarland on the throw. If that's right to him, he gets an extra step upfield and gets actually a little bit of a gain for Chicago.
And looks like the Chaos are going to get
penalty, still second down.
Delay a game, so the crowd noise has been very effective here. The Chaos hasn't really played this much with this crowd noise. A huge crowd here rooting for Racine, getting in the ears of Ionati.
Oh, wow.
So second down and 18 now.
And they're going to have to, there's some things going on the sidelines on the far side. The security already making the way over for that.
Ionati throws, tipped at the line of scrimmage, incomplete. Third and 18 now for the Chaos. And finding themselves in trouble here in the second quarter with under 5 minutes to go. Down 21-7.
And when you look at it too, I mean, just a tip ball, it looked like there was some room there for a play to be made for the Chaos, and unfortunately that ball gets tipped.
So we'll see what the Chaos offense does here. Again, third and very long. We have seen them pick up plays like this before, but never against the Racine Raiders. As Ionati out of the gun, 4 wide receiver spread. Johnson in the backfield alongside with him. Ionati takes the snap, scrambles to his left, throws deep, wide open as Brockman cannot make the catch. The throw was a little outside, and Brockman took a dive at it. He was wide open and just could not haul it in.
I want to see that again because it looked like, I mean, there was no one around him. I think he just planted his feet, and that's what caused him to miss that ball. He just stopped moving his feet. If he keeps himself ready for the ball.
Yeah, I think you're right, Chris. I want to see one more look at Ionati's throw.
I mean, it was a little bit off.
It was a little off thrown, but I still think Brockman had a good shot at it. Just a little bit. I mean,
you know what? He didn't stop his feet. It was just a little bit off. His dive actually slowed him down. If he kept moving his feet instead of diving, he probably makes the play.
So we just got to update the Milwaukee Brewers that beat the Cincinnati Reds 6-1. Good job, Milwaukee. As we have a fumble now on the punt, and he picks it back up and gets it away and goes down and finally down by the Raiders. And that was another scary play for the Chaos as their punter, Dominic Kozlowski, fumbled the snap. He was able to have the presence of mind to pick it back up and get it out of there and get some yards away for the Raiders.
Well, it took a Raiders bounce as well, so that kind of helped them out as well. Are you familiar with LifeLock? Are you familiar with LegalZoom? This is like both on steroids for less money. Visit www.windycityprotection.com, and you saw in the replay there, that almost hit somebody in the back for the Raiders too, so it was a smart decision just in case it did to jump on the ball for the Raiders.
Yes. So now the Raiders come back out. Their offense has been playing very efficient today. Out of the gun is their quarterback, Craig McClellan. 3-wide receiver spread on the left. McClellan shuffle passes over to Lashley, and no good on the intended pass. Dropped, and there's a flag at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I didn't see what the flag might be for. They're going to converse about it now. It looks like we're about to get the call.
12 man on the legal man.
Complete pass, 5-yard penalty, ineligible downfield.
Ineligible.
It was a forward pass.
I thought he was going to say more. It was an ineligible receiver downfield is the call. And then what you heard there at the end was one of the players for Racine in San DeLeo. He was trying to plead his team's case, but he said it was a forward pass, so that's why the call happens.
Yeah, so it'll be 1st and 15 as they do not a loss of downs there on the ineligible receiver downfield. So out of the shotgun again here on 1st and 15, Craig McClellan, 3-wide receiver, trip left. Throws to the right. He's got a man down there covered. Goes up, caught. There's a flag on the play, and that was caught by Steve Morris.
I think this one's coming back, Cody. I think they're going to call offensive pass interference.
As Nick Olson points to the right, and the coverage on the play was Dylan Hunter. It looked like he had good coverage.
He looked like he had good coverage. He was actually in a better position.
Take one more look at that, Chris.
Pass interference, number 14 offense will be 10 yards from the previous spot.
And that's Chris Labasco with the call there, as he is never wrong.
Well, I wasn't the one making that call. That was
yes. Chris Labasco, my partner, he called it earlier though.
Right. Yeah. That was. I mean, you could see it. The problem when you're that receiver on the outside there is when you do use your hands, you can get caught sometimes. I mean, it wasn't the biggest push, but it was enough to give enough separation for the official to make the call.
So here we go now. The Chaos in good position now.
He's got to go to Brandon Marshall camp.
Their defense comes out with a good opportunity. 1st and 25 for the Raiders. Trips right formation out of the gun, empty backfield. McClellan over the middle, caught by, again, there we go, cross midfield over to the 40, getting brought down finally at the 50-yard line. What a play there by Steve Morris.
He had to make up for his last play, and he did right there. That was a beautiful play from Morris. That was all him, a very well-run route, and then he just runs through a bunch of tackles. I mean, there was multiple Chaos players there to try and bring him down, and they just weren't able to.
As Steve Morris has been very good today. Wide receiver, take one more look. About a 40-yard gain as he just broke through the defenders of the Chaos. No one could bring him down.
And he just kept his feet moving. And something that the Racine Raiders do really well is they have they really do good with their two-man routes where they have two receivers running on one side of the ball. One runs one route to open space for the other receiver.
And McClellan hands off to Lashley over to the left. Finally brought down at about the 46-yard line by number 99 of the Chaos, Adam Nelson.
And those routes are all timing, too, when you look at it, Cody, because you have to throw the ball at the right time as that first route has gone through to open for the second route.
And now, Chris said the situation here, 3 minutes, 8 seconds and counting before halftime, and the Raiders pick up that 40-yard play to Morris, and now they're looking to score again before.
And here's the thing, too, for the Racine Raiders. They don't have to use their timeouts yet. They can take their time. They can still huddle up. They still have all their – I believe they have all but one of their timeouts, I believe, is how many they have.
McClellan throws up Morris, caught and hit immediately, brought down by number 21, Quinnell Johnson.
Yeah, they have 2 timeouts left for the Raiders here. They can move methodically downfield and take off all the rest of this time and go score a touchdown maybe with 20 seconds left. Leave as little bit of time for the Chicago Chaos offense as you can.
And time continues to tick as both teams out on the field. Whistle has been blown. And it's going to be the 2-minute warning.
Thought we were going to get the official to make the call.
Yes, I always want to wait for the official to make the call before I make an assumption that may be wrong.
He made the call. He forgot to turn on his mic.
Yes. Got to have that mic on.
But when you look at it, though, for the Chaos, I mean, this is not something this is something you can easily come back from. That's the good thing. The goal right now for the Chaos, not allow Racine to get a touchdown before the half ends. Keep this game where it's at 21-7. Don't let it get any more out of reach.
And here's the thing, Chris, too. The Chaos offensively have been moving the ball. They've made some mental mistakes. You know, the penalty that negated the touchdown. When you talk about their defense, they're so used to committing. They have not forced a turnover yet in this game. And usually they're defensively, it's 3 and out, interception, 3 and out. But now the Raiders are playing very methodically, moving the ball on these short gains, run plays to the outside. They're very versatile, and it's something I don't think the Chaos have seen yet. They have to kind of get used to it. But to your point, Chris, only down 21-7. It's only a 2-possession game, and you still have an entire second half, including the rest of the 2 minutes here in the first half.
Yeah, it really keeps you off balance, as this 2-minute warning will brought to you by Workup Fitness, the indoor facility offering a unique approach style to obstacle course training. Their services will accommodate the growing demand for this popular sport. Visit them at www.workupfitness.com.
So 3rd down here, McClellan throws to the left. He's got a man deep, could not make the catch on the play. Was DJ Smith. Covering for the Chaos was Quinnell Johnson. Was pretty good coverage there by Johnson as he forced Smith to try to make a difficult catch and could not haul it in.
And that's something they need from this defense. There's been some really big open windows for the receiving team. You've got to try and limit the windows that they have to throw to. I mean, very accurate is McClellan, but you have to make life tougher on him than it has been so far.
And now McClellan stays on the field here on the 4th and 2. I tell you what, Chris, I would watch out for the quarterback sneak, as they did on the 4th and inches. As McClellan takes the snap, and he's going to run with it himself, and he gets the first down to the 38. So there it is, the quarterback keeper.
He's a big body. I mean, all he had to do was almost lunge forward, and he was going to pick up the yards. He just found a small enough seam that he could fit through. I mean, when you look at McClellan, he's a 6'5", 250-pound guy. It's a pretty big guy.
And McClellan has been very good in this game. No turnovers. He has 2 touchdown passes, thrown for 172 yards. As takes a snap out of the weak eye, hands off to Lashley around the outside, brought down by Nick Olson from behind. Nice tackle there by Olson.
I don't think he was the one to get there initially. He had some help bringing him down.
Yes.
But getting there has been one of the big things in holding on to him.
Lashley on the carry, Raider
yeah. Timeout was taken again, this time by the Raiders. You would think it was getting close to when they would, as it's almost to that minute mark here.
Yes.
But we're going to stay here for this one here on SportsTown Chicago.
Minute 10 to go here in the first half.
Again, the big thing for Chicago right now is you don't want to let them get any more points on the board. So really, this has got to be where you draw the line in the metaphorical sand.
Yeah, it don't look behind. What happened in this first half, down 21-7. You have to keep moving forward. You're a good football team, good defense, good offense. Just keep fighting, keep finding ways to attack this Raiders team.
I don't know how good the kicking unit is for.
Raiders have an excellent kicker, and he's got a pretty good leg. He's 10 of 12 this season from field goals. Number 34, Justin Sheppy. So he kicks more field goals than the Chaos do. A few weeks back, the Chaos actually had their first ever field goal, and it was for a game winner. So we resume play now as McClellan out of the shotgun, 4 wide receiver spread. Lashley in the backfield with him. Blitz coming for the Chaos is picked up. Goes a flow to the outside. Caught and running out of bounds is number 3, Sam D'Elia. D'Elia now continues his good game. That's his 4th reception of the game for 43 yards. He had the first touchdown of the game.
Quick throw, and again, knowing right where he's going, right as the ball is snapped, is McClellan. He's very good at reading defenses. I mean, when a guy is able to look at his receiver right from the snap and know where he's throwing it already, that's knowing how the defense is going to be.
So under center now, trips left, dropping back, hands off to Lashley on the delayed draw, and he gets across the 25 inside to about the 21-yard line, and now the hurry-up offense starts to go as this crowd really getting into it.
They still have a timeout left here for Racine, so they don't
as
have
McClellan's
to use it
going to
yet.
spike the ball.
And not a bad decision to spike it either, but they do have to remember they do have one more timeout.
Yes.
You can take a little bit of time here. You don't have to rush too much.
No, but sometimes right there, you said you have the one timeout. You want to kind of save that so you get a little bit lower. You are close to the end zone, but you're still at the 22-yard line, still 22 yards out. You never know what can happen. So I think right decision there to spike it.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't hurt. There's no doubt about that to stop the clock.
It does lose. You lose the down, though. That's
right.
the one negative.
Although the one thing with Racine right now is downs hasn't been
It has not been an issue, exactly, Chris. So out of the shotgun as McClellan throws to left. Receiver not looking, and that was a missed opportunity there by the Chaos. As you saw, defending was Dylan Hunter. He was looking the whole time, but he could not get around the receiver.
That's because the receiver never looked for
the ball.
Steve
Morris was not looking for it.
That was two people off page for Morris and his quarterback and McClellan, because McClellan clearly thought that he was going to come back to the ball.
See that the dive made there by Hunter, he was looking at the whole time, and that would have been very nice if the Chaos could have gotten a turnover down in the red zone. So out of the under center now is McClellan here on third down. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, throws a fade to the right corner of the end zone. Going up to make the catch is no good. He made the catch, but his feet were out of bounds, I believe, as the far line judge.
I don't think he held the ball onto the ground. I think the ground caused a fumble is what I think ended up happening.
That was Dorian Palmer. So the ball was on the ground as it's got word.
Yeah, I didn't think he held on to it. He almost did. I mean,
it was a pretty nice throw. And
yeah, it was thrown in an area where only his receiver could make a catch. That was the thing, too, about the throw, and it definitely went to the ground. So
now the Racine Raiders will send out the special teams unit to try the field goal from the 21-yard line. It's going to make it a 38-yard attempt for number 34 kicker Justin Sheppy, who is 10-12 from field goals on the season. Chaos defense ready. The snap, the kick is up. It has the distance. No good, though. It's to the right. So about 27 seconds to go, the Chaos offense will have another opportunity. We've seen them have a 75-yard rushing touchdown, a 75-yard passing touchdown that was negated. So what do you look to do here, Chris? I mean, I think you have to attack, right?
Well, they do get the ball back at the beginning of half, so they may take a knee here. It depends on what they want to do. And looking at that kick, it looked like maybe Shep, he overjudged the wind, I think is what happened.
It was straight.
He overplayed it a little bit too much. The wind is blowing from right to left with where he was kicking from the far side of the field to the near side. He kicked it towards the far post, but the wind didn't take it back enough.
So Anthony Iannotti takes a knee and is going to walk off the field. So the Chaos will go to halftime down 21-7 as we just wait while the time clicks off. So what have you seen, Chris, from the Chaos that they can take as a positive moving in to the second half?
Well, the big playability still there. They still are a very dangerous offensive team, but they have to it's consistency. That's really all it is for them on the offensive end. And really on the defensive end, it's the same sort of case, is that you've made some great plays, but you've also made some plays that aren't very good. They've been caught looking a little bit too much at the ball sometimes, and it's resulted in some bigger plays. They've just little things that they can fix, and they can be right back into this game. I mean, it's already been a great game so far, even though it's a two-score game right now. This is it. These are two teams that you can see have a lot of talent.
Yeah, Anthony Iannotti, 7 for 12 for only 61 yards. A lot different story than last week. Chaos offense running game hasn't really been able to get going, but to your point, Chris, the big play is still there. As you know, we could be looking easily at a 21-14 game if not for that penalty, which I agree with the call. It was the right call. The man former had him beat, and that was a touchdown.
And here's the thing as well, when you look at it for Chicago, why they haven't used their running game so much is because they've been down.
No Nate Cameo either.
Right, you can't go to your running game if you're down most of the time, especially when you start to get down by multiple scores. That's when you see teams start to throw a little bit more.
Yes, and it's been tough for Johnson to get a rhythm going too. He's a rhythm runner. You know, he's going to chip away with you for 2 yards, 1 yard, 3 yards, maybe a 5-yard gain, and then that's when he gets going and gets those big gains.
Yeah, and we'll see how they adjust here. I mean, there's definitely some adjustments to be made, I think, offensively and defensively for them. I think it's unfortunate that they've got to try and play a little bit tighter on these receivers because they're taking advantage of some of the under routes. So you've either got to play tighter on the outside, or you've got to get more pressure on the quarterback. And one of the two things.
That's the one thing that I'm still very confident with is the Chaos defensive line. They've shown all season, it seems like they've done this every game, they don't get a whole lot of pressure on the quarterback early. And then in the second half, you start seeing Nicholas White, who leads the GFL in sacks with 6, really make his mark on the game late. So I'm telling you, Chris, get ready to call some Nicholas White sacks in the second half because he's been doing that all season. And they really can use him right now because they need to get pressure on this quarterback, Craig McClellan, because I don't care if you're Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Craig McClellan, if you're getting pressured, you're not going to be able to throw the ball off your back.
No, and this is a quarterback who is very good at knowing where the rush is coming from, so you've got to bring a lot of pressure to
yes, and you have to disguise your blitzes. You have to try to confuse him because we talked about he always keeps his eyes downfield. And he's
good
not
at reading the defense.
He is, and that's all about smarts. He obviously studies. He works hard on the game film, and he knows where his receivers are going to be exactly. So a guy like that, you really have to try to confuse him with your defensive lineups.
Yeah, you definitely have to. And I think the Chaos have there's no question the Chaos have the ability to come back in this game. It's just, can they get it done here in enough time? Can they make these adjustments here at half?
The Chaos need to make some adjustments, but you have to give a lot of credit to Racine. They're an excellent team.
Very good team.
But we're going to wrap it up here for the first half. We're going to be back for the second half for the Chicago Chaos football here in Racine, Wisconsin. 21-7 lead for the Raiders. We'll be back on SportsTownChicago.com.
From Chicago's Game Night. You've heard me talk about the Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard, but what do the students think?
My name's John Stevens. I am a promotion coordinator at ESPN. Everybody was helpful. Everyone cared. All the teachers at ICB were really there and passionate about their job and sharing their idea and their dream with you so you could achieve your goal.
At ICB in Lombard, you learn the tools that will help you get that first job in the business. Dozens of industry pros teach you how to be on air, produce shows behind the scenes, work digital equipment, and design web pages.
And it works around your time. It's very flexible, and they work with you at every hour and any day they possibly can.
Plus internships, career placement assistance, and a commitment to your success.
I'm living the dream, and I suggest that everyone who has a passion for radio or television or web design, ICB is definitely a place for them to go.
Go to beonair.com/Chicago Sports to get started. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
Just being part of the ESPN team is special, and it's all because of ICB.
It's time to kick off your career in radio or TV broadcasting. There's no better or faster way than the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Check out our website at beonair.com/Lombard or call us at 630-916-1700 to set up a tour and see all the hands-on training you can receive. The best part of the program is the job placement department that will help you find your first job in broadcasting. Just listen to what some of our recent graduates have to say about the program. Kevin Wood, Production Director, Next Media, Joliet.
My favorite part about going to the Illinois Center for Broadcasting was, first of all, I got to do everything here. For anybody looking to get into the program, I would say be ready to learn, be ready to get in here and really take your skills to another level on your own. The instructors can show you how to do it.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting, where broadcasting careers begin.
Every day, the chances of becoming a victim of mercury poisoning increase. Mercury poisoning may cause neurological damage that impairs learning, vision, and memory. And mercury itself has become part of our everyday lives, absorbed by certain fish, taken into our bodies, and passed on to our children like a common cold. But you can stop this. Log on to earthshare.org and find out how. A public service message brought to you by Earthshare and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Joe Perry and Steven Tyler of Aerosmith for Red. You know, it's okay to rock and roll and party down. Just don't get in that 2,000-pound bullet when you're done and cocked. And please don't drink and drive. I'm the one that jaded you.
A reminder that friends don't let friends drive drunk. A public service message brought to you by the Ad Council, U.S. Department of Transportation, National Association of Broadcasters, and RAD.
It's time to kick off your career in radio or TV broadcasting. There's no better or faster way than the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Check out our website at beonair.com/Lombard or call us at 630-916-1700 to set up a tour and see all the hands-on training you can receive. The best part of the program is the job placement department that will help you find your first job in broadcasting. Just listen to what some of our recent graduates have to say about the program. Cheryl Scott with NBC5.
I think one of the most important things in the broadcasting industry really is getting a hands-on experience, and a lot of colleges and universities don't always offer that. Reach for, work for what you want to do, and stay extremely focused. And if you do that and stay positive, I think everything will fall into place.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting, where broadcasting careers begin.
You love sports, you have drive and determination, but you need skills to work in sports broadcasting. Hey, this is Herb Lawrence. I'm here to tell you how to get those skills, just like I did at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard. Get hands-on training for a career in radio, TV, or digital media. Learn to be a host, producer, or shoot and edit video. With internships, job placement assistance, and affordable tuition, you can get started with a new career at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Enrolling now. Go to beonair.com/score. That's beonair.com/score.
As a student athlete of the IHSA,
I pledge to respect my teammates. I pledge to respect my coaches.
I pledge to respect the officials.
I pledge to respect the opponents.
I pledge to respect the fans. I pledge to respect the game.
We pledge to do what's right.
Attention, family, friends, players, coaches, and fans. Are you a high school or college athlete that had your game covered by SportsTownChicago.com? You can relive the glory by going to our podcast section of our website to listen to all the past games over the last 2 years. Just go to the website at SportsTownChicago.com and check out the podcast section, and it'll take you right to your sport. Now that's SportsTownChicago.com.
It is very much the school where you get out of it what you put into it.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard gets results.
My name is Misty Callahan, and I am a traffic reporter for Total Traffic and Weather Network.
From being on air to the all-important behind the scenes.
You're constantly doing projects, and it's like not just in class stuff, too. I mean, there are projects you have to do outside of class time as well as interning.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting Lombard campus is where you go if you're serious about a career in broadcasting.
You had to come up with the show topics. You had to research the show topics, come up with talking points for your host. So it's not something that you just take a lackadaisical approach to, but if it's something that you really want to do, if you really want to be a reporter, if you really want to be on air, you really want to be a camera guy, then yeah, it's a program that'll at least give you the entry-level skills to help you get that first job in the business.
I'm Jonathan Hood, instructor at Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard, and I suggest that you find out more today by going to the website beonair.com/Chicago Sports. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
SportsTownChicago.com is an internet sports station that is located at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard, Illinois. We offer you a chance, or should I say, an opportunity, to become an on-air personality, get invited to live sporting events, and we teach you how to interact with your listeners. Get the training you need to get in the broadcasting industry. Just go to SportsTownChicago.com or dial 630-916-1700.
You must be your fairy godmother. Yes.
It doesn't take a fairy godmother to tell you that the right fit means everything.
Good heavens, child. You can't go in that.
Children under 4'9" need to be in a booster seat because they aren't ready for adult safety belts alone. Remember that 4'9" is the magic number, and get your little pumpkin there safely in a booster seat.
Oh, thank you.
For more information, visit boosterseat.gov. This has been a message from the U.S. Department of Transportation and the Ad Council.
What's up, Chicago? It's Rufio. Are you looking to get hands-on training for a career in radio or TV? Just do what I did and go to the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Whether you're looking to be on air or behind the scenes, the Illinois Center for Broadcasting is for you. As a graduate of ICB, I was placed in an internship with KISS FM, and now I'm on the air. You can do the same. For more info, go to beonair.com/career. That's beonair.com/career.
Hey, it's Herb Lawrence. If you love sports and you want a career in broadcasting, then go to the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Log on to beonair.com right now. The Illinois Center for Broadcasting trains you for careers in radio, TV, and online media. With internships, financial aid for those who qualify, job placement assistance, and day and night classes, you could start your new career in less than a year. Log on to beonair.com right now. Take it from me, Herb Lawrence. Check out the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Go to beonair.com/Chicago Sports. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
When you need a break from your busy schedule, kick back and listen to the fun sports and entertainment interviews.
Chaos defense ready. The snap, the kick is up. It has the distance. No good though. It's to the
no pride. If you want a career that you love, check out the Illinois Center for Broadcasting, where you'll learn the craft from the pros in the business like me. Call today at 630-916-1700 and tell them Ray Flores sent you.
Raiders scored their first touchdown with Craig McClellan as he passed to Sam Daeli, and then the Chaos came back and scored on 3 plays on a 75-yard touchdown run by Anthony Ionati at the 5-minute mark, and then the second quarter was all Raiders. They scored early in the first minute of the second quarter. Ivory Lashley ran it for a 3-yard gain, a touchdown, and the Raiders again at the 10:49 mark was Craig McClellan pass to Terrence Pitch for a 25-yard touchdown pass and score, and that leaves us to starting here the second half.
And a half that a chance to make this back to a 1-score game for the Chaos since they start off with the ball first. They can make this 21-14 and really give their defense that little bit of extra time to get a little bit of rest on the sideline, even added on from the halftime. So the offense has looked really good at times, and there's been a couple of times where they've had some stalls in their drives. But there's no reason to think that they can't get this back to a 1-score game.
Well, that's one thing, too, with their offense. They have not been on the field that much, and that's putting the defense out there. It maybe made them a little tired. I mean, the Raiders, they've ran 21 times, and the Chaos have run 5, and the Raiders have passed 17 times. Chaos has passed 12. So you talk about 17 plays for the Chaos compared to the Raiders, who have nearly 40 plays, 38 to be exact. They have 15 first downs. The Chaos 4 first downs. It's just the Chaos time of possession. They've only had the ball for 10 minutes.
And again, they're very, very even with how they play. They're not run heavy. They're not pass heavy. They're very, very balanced. And that's really a tough thing when you have a good running game and a good passing game too. You really make it tough on teams. They really can't overplay for the run or overplay for the pass. They really have to focus on both.
Time clicking down. We have about 15 seconds to go before kickoff as the Chaos will receive some team leader stats. The Chicago Chaos rushing leaders Anthony Ionati with 3 carries for 78 yards. Racine Raiders Ivory Lashley leads his team 9 carries, 34 yards. Passing Chaos Anthony Ionati is 7 for 12 for 61 yards, while Craig McClellan is 11 for 17 for 175 yards and 2 touchdowns. Receiving James Former leads the Chaos 4 catches for 58 yards. Racine Raiders Steve Morris leads 3 catches for 56 yards. Interceptions, there have been no turnovers in this game. No fumbles in this game. We did have a fumble earlier. Brockman was able to recover it for the Chaos. Defensively, the stats, Torrey Ruffin of the Racine Raiders leads his team with 5 tackles. And the Chaos Tied for first is Christian Grantham, defensive back, and Nick Olson, middle linebacker. Each have 5 solo, 2 assists, so for a total of 7 total tackles. As that's PA announcer getting ready to bring us into the second half as the Chaos return unit goes onto the field.
Now we know that the Raiders, Torrey Ruffin is a great tackler. I still want to see them maybe throw his way and see what he can do in the coverage game, though, because we know he's very physical. We know he's good at making some tackles, coming up in pursuit. But how can he do when he has to drop back into coverage? And I want to see if they try and take advantage. Just see what he can do.
Remember Anthony Ionati's touchdown run, he outran Ruffin.
That's right.
On that play. So a good point there, Chris, to see if they can attack him through the air with some of these quick receivers, because if Ionati can outrun Ruffin, I'm sure Former could and McFarland could. So Chaos special teams unit is out on the field. Set back deep for return is Former and McFarland. They're at both at a 10-yard line. Kicking off for the Raiders is Shepke. As he boots one. They tried this earlier, and it's going to be recovered by the Raiders on that little squib kind of high boot. No, I think it went out of bounds. It went out of bounds, so Chaos will recover it as the ref points the signal. The line judge is Shepke.
He's pointing towards the Chaos is the
They
thing.
tried this earlier, and
so we get a good look at it here again.
It'll be recovered.
Looked like maybe number 33 who touched the ball for the Racine Raiders, and Ross Tuller, he might have been on the line, and that might have been why that they called this ball for the Chaos.
You have to establish yourself inbounds the whole time, and they switched it though, Chris.
I was going to say, you know what? Because it was Darius Anderson was the one who recovered the ball, and he was completely inbounds.
And this,
so that's a good call. That's
hurts.
a good
this
reversal.
Hurts a lot. It's going to be a 28-yard line of the Chaos where the Raiders are going to retain it. And last week, Chris, I know you weren't there. The Raiders, the Chaos did this last week where they kicked an onside kick to start the second half, and they recovered it. And, now it's going up against them in this game, 21-7 now. The Raiders getting ready to go out of the single back formation, handing it off to up the middle. Olsen hits him as Galvin picks up maybe 1 yard on the play.
I'm a little surprised, though, by the Chaos. I thought they would have been prepared for that because you'd seen it in the first half.
To your point, Chris, the Chaos last week, they tried 2 onside kicks. The first one did not recover. And the next kickoff, the second half, they did it, and they recovered it. So it happened against them this week here against the Raiders, and now really digging themselves a hole here as come up second down for the Raiders as McClellan out of the shotgun, 4 wide receiver set. He's got Gentry next to him in the backfield. Pressure coming. He scrambles upfield, a little shuffle pass forward, caught at about the 23-yard line by receiver Terrence Fitch of the Raiders.
Yeah, so far the defense, some yards given up here, but now it's a third and about mid. So a chance here to get this to a 4th down and have them have to try a field goal.
If that's now the 40th play of the game for the Raiders compared to only 17 plays for the Chaos, Raiders dominating the possession time as they are up over 20 minutes here. Coming back to the line of scrimmage is McClellan under center, 3rd and 3. Tosses it over to Gentry out on the outside, gets hit, and finally gets across the 20. He'll be close to the first down.
It's going to depend on the spot here, really.
Yes, he ran out of bounds on the play.
It looks like they're giving it to him.
And they're going to signal a first down as the spot is inside the 17-yard line, so that will be good enough for a first down for the Raiders. In the red zone now of the Chaos, and Raiders looking to put some more points on the board, already up 21-7 early here in the second half.
Something that's been a big stat here is first downs, 16 of them for Racine.
Yes, they had 15 in the first half. That's their first down of this half. Chaos have 4 first downs on the afternoon. Out of the shotgun is Craig McClellan. 4 wide receiver spread, has to jump to handle that snap. Shuffle passes over to Gentry on the outside. Stiff arm at the 8 and runs in the end zone. Touchdown Raiders there. Tyrone Galvin with a beautiful run as he broke to the outside, got the stiff arm, 17-yard touchdown run. Raiders now go up 7-7. One more look at that, Chris, as he bounced outside, used the speed, the stiff arm on defensive back, Dylan Hunter, and trots into the end zone. Nice run there by the Raiders, and Chris, the Chaos now really in trouble as this game is getting out of hand.
It's a 14-point swing with that onside kick. I mean, that's a big momentum changer, especially when you thought, okay, if Chicago can get a touchdown here, they can get back to within one score. But now, reverse happens. Now you're 3 scores away from tying this game up.
Extra point is good, so 28-7 now. And let's take one more look at that play, the little shuffle pass. And Galvin does the rest.
And that was a broken play, too.
That's the second time they scored on a broken play. Their first touchdown happened on a broken play earlier in the first quarter.
And Dylan Hunter looked like he was going to be able to make a play on that, but that was a great stiff arm. That really was. I mean, that was the difference. It looked like Dylan Hunter was going to go, wrap him up. Perfect stiff arm, stops him from even having an opportunity.
So the Chaos return unit will come back on the field, and they got to be ready for anything right now because this Raiders team showing that they're not taking their foot off the gas pedal. They're going to keep driving and keep attacking this Chaos team, and the Chaos going to come out, man. They got to do something here to try to get back into this game. I mean, there's still more time left. You're down by 3 scores now, though. Still plenty of football to be played, but they really haven't shown anything that they're going to make a run at this.
So it's going to start here with the offense. That's where it has to start. You have to get some points on the board just to try and get this back to a 2-score game.
And the passing game has been very difficult for the Chaos against this Raiders defense. As Iannati is only thrown for 61 yards.
Well, he hasn't had a lot of time.
He hasn't had a lot of time. No, a high boot kick. Again, it's over the middle and kind of stumbles forward, picks it up, gets upfield, breaks a tackle. He has an opening, gets a block at the 50. One man to beat is the kicker at the 40. Cuts back inside to the 30. Now gets hit inside the 20 and brought down. A huge return by James Former, as you thought maybe more trouble when they couldn't corral it, but Former able to get by him. One man to beat was the kicker, and the Raiders finally got back up to him. And it's going to be a first down for the Chaos at the 16-yard line in the red zone. Excellent field position, best field position of the day for the Chaos.
Well, Justin Shepke did his job. He just slowed him down enough to allow for the pursuit to come and stop Former. But, I mean, a great job by Former. He slipped when he first picked up that ball, but then he explodes through an opening and gets into nothing but free space and continues to run until he gets slowed down again by the kicker of the Racine Raiders.
Big moment here for the Chaos as they have the ball in enemy territory. Iannati out of the shotgun, trips right. Brockman in the slot. Iannati looks to the left on the slant, tipped at the line of scrimmage, and Thomas Loving almost tried to catch it. The left tackle converted from a tight end for the Chaos, and he was hit hard, incomplete. So second down now for the Chaos.
I'm a little surprised that Iannati didn't look to his quick throw on the right side. I thought there was a little bit more room, and it's your more sure-handed player and your tight end as well that was open on the near side. So I was a little surprised he didn't look towards Brockman.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Brockman has not been a big factor in this game.
And
he
was
only has
open.
one catch.
He was open, too.
Iannati out of the gun. Brockman in the slot as we highlighted him. Trips right. Johnson in the backfield alongside Iannati. He drops back, throws to Brockman, tipped at the line of scrimmage again.
And that's been a big problem here for Iannati so far, but it's a good job by the defensive line of Racine to tip these passes at the line and not allow the ball to get to some open receivers, because there's been some open receivers for Chicago.
Yeah, they're getting their big paws up there and knocking that ball down. That's the third time we saw a tip ball at the line of scrimmage, and it's been a problem for the Chaos offense and Iannati.
It's honestly a surprise to think that Iannati is having some of his passes knocked down. He's a pretty big guy and usually doesn't have any problems getting it over the line.
So third down here. We got to make something happen. The Chaos out of the gun. Iannati trips right. Drop back, looks over to McFarland, caught, gets some blocks, cuts up field, gets inside the 10 to about the 9. So it's going to be short of the first down. So it'll be fourth down here in decision time for the Chaos. You take the 3 points
I
or
think
you
have
go
to go.
for it.
I think you have to go.
I agree with you 100%, Chris. It's already the third quarter. You're down by 3 touchdowns, excuse me. So good play call to get some more yards, but man, after that kick return by Former, you got to make something happen. You cannot. If they don't pick up this, you talk about having the ball from the 16-yard line coming away with nothing. So,
I mean, and here's the thing too: you haven't been able to slow down yet the offense in Racine. You've got to try and put some points on the board. Just get this game a little bit closer.
Anthony Nadi out of the gun, 4 wide receiver set. Johnson in the backfield alongside with him. Crowd on their feet. Nadi drops back, looks left, throws over the middle, tipped. Ball falls incomplete. Turnover on downs. Racine will take over.
Michael Rachel with the great play.
So a good play there by the defender of the Raiders as they force the turnover on downs. You talk about it, Chris. I mean, James Former had the return from the 30-yard line. He returned it about 60-yard, about 55-yard return, and their offense no yards on that drive.
And you see the replay there, just a great read by the linebacker there in the middle for Racine and Michael Rachel. I mean, just very instinctive play. He knew where the ball was going to that left side. He stayed. He didn't fall for the route going to the outside. That route was just trying to open up that player coming across from the right.
Now McClellan throws out to the left, brought down there. Quick tackle by Cornell Johnson on Lashley, as that's the first time today, Chris, you've seen the Raiders come out in a empty set 5 wide receiver spread.
Well, here's the thing right now for Chicago. You need to try and stop the Raiders because you can at least get some field position here, if anything, because you do have them pinned pretty deep in their own territory.
It's going to be a 2nd and 9 here from the inside the 10-yard line of the Raiders as their offense breaks huddle. Craig McClellan out of the shotgun, 4 wide receiver spread. He has a running back Lashley alongside to his left. Takes the snap, looks to the right, throws, caught by Morris, breaks 1 tackle, trying to break the other tackle, finally brought down by multiple Chaos defenders. Nick Olson had the wrap up on the leg and finished off by Lewis Stallworth and Christian Grantham.
A good job by the team to take down the player there in number 14 in Morris. A gang tackle. We've seen that these players on Racine, they'll run through some arm tackles if you just try and do an arm tackle. You've got to wrap up and really bring them down.
They've done it. Steve Morris has been excellent with that. That's now 8 tackles on the day for linebacker Nick Olson. Call his name a lot. So the Chaos defense staying at 4-3 as they played pretty much all day. Out of the shotgun is Craig McClellan. Lashley in the backfield, takes the snap, looks to the left, throws over the middle, picked off at the 32 by Cornell Johnson, breaking some tackles, finds some room out to the right. Still on his feet, finally brought down the 10. Huge play there by Cornell Johnson. And Chaos will take over now with another excellent opportunity to put some points on that board and cut this lead down to a 2-possession game.
I'm a little surprised by the throw there from Craig McClellan because he had his running back releasing from behind the line, and he decided to go for the deeper route instead of the safe play that would have gotten him the first down.
And really, nobody open on that play as Johnson had excellent coverage.
Well, like I said, he had his running back. I believe it was Lashley was the one coming out of the backfield at the end of the play. As you can see here, you see right in the middle of the screen pretty much Lashley wide open. There was no Chaos player around him. Instead, he goes for the deeper pass, and for a guy who has very good vision, I'm a little surprised by that one.
So Ionati hands off to space ahead of CJ Young, takes it himself in for a touchdown, but there's a flag on the play, another flag on the play, so 2 flags. Gonna wait on the call as CJ Young gets his first action of the night. Fake handoff, and then it's going to be a holding call as the ref signals it. I saw the referee signal it, so we'll had the referee make the call, but that's coming back, so no touchdown there for the Chaos. And a good play call.
We had 54 offense holding, face mask defense, plays offset, replayed it down.
So the first flag there at the 15-yard line was a hold. The second flag that came out as Ionati was running in. Here's the replay of the fake to CJ Young, Chris.
Yeah, as you see Ionati, it was a good fake. It definitely caught the defense off guard. And I'm not sure think the face mask was probably there at the end. Yeah, you see it there. I can't quite see it from that angle, but it was definitely something at the end when it ended up happening.
So offsetting penalties. So remain first and goal from the 8-yard line. Huge opportunity here for the Chaos. Need to put up some points here as the crowd here in Racine on their feet. The cowbells are going. Out of the shotguns, Ionati. CJ Young in the backfield alongside with him. Trips right receivers. Young looks to the left. Throws a floater to Brockman. He goes up. Could not make the catch. He had a great position there. Just could not haul it in.
I want to see that again because I'm surprised he didn't come down with that. It looked like it looked like he didn't get his hands to the ball is the reason why he didn't catch it. It looked like it hit off his forearm first before he caught it. Actually, that hit him right in the hands. I'm a little surprised he didn't catch that one.
I'm very surprised. I made the statement, Brockman, I still believe he has the best hands out of this receiver unit. He rarely drops passes, and that one was right to him. She could not haul it in. So second down now because of the offsetting penalties. That was still first down that first play. So second down.
And you're okay with that though still because that's a guy who you're all right throwing the ball to him there. When you look at him, he's 6'4" and he's 215. He's a big guy.
So I-90 out of the shotgun. 4 receiver spread. Calling in motion is McFarland to the right, and that's going to be delay a game.
Yeah, the motion was late. You saw a little bit of frustration there in Ionati as he was trying to get his running back or his wide receiver McFarland to go, and he just didn't.
So that moves the Chaos back to the 13-yard line. So it'll be second and goal here. Need 13 yards now to get the end zone. And you saw Ionati yelling over at McFarland, who was late on the motion. He wanted to line up on the right.
And you got one more look there at that throw into the corner to Matthew Brockman. And again, I mean, it was a good spot for the throw. A little bit surprised that Brockman wasn't able to bring it down from Ionati.
So Ionati comes up to the line of scrimmage. He's out of the shotgun. CJ Young on the left side of Ionati as they discuss what they want to do. Now Young over to the right side. 4 wide receivers spread. Raiders showing blitz. Ionati runs to the right side. He's going to take it himself and gets hit hard at about the 9-yard line.
He delivered a hit too, and
there's a flag, and that's might be helmet to helmet.
We'll have to see. We'll have to wait for the call. It could be that. It was definitely something with the head area.
Got helmet-to-helmet contact, illegal procedure, unsportsmanlike conduct. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
So very fortunate break there for the Chaos, and hopefully Ionati didn't take too hard of a shot there.
He seemed to be all right. He got up really quick. We'll get to see this run again. I'm a little. I thought he was going to try and bait the cornerback on the right side because I thought maybe he would have had a chance to throw it. Oh yeah, that's definitely helmet-to-helmet contact. I mean, he wasn't trying to go helmet-to-helmet. He was trying to go with the shoulder, but with the way Ionati was running, they made helmet-to-helmet contact. So
Ionati out of the gun. CJ Young alongside with it. Ionati gives it to Young. Young up the middle. Turning forward, gets about 2 yards on the 2-yard line, so it'll be second and goal from the 2.
And really, that penalty helps out the Chaos a lot. You get a couple downs now to try and attack the end zone. And you get a couple yards like that on each run, you're going to get into the end zone. So they're getting that push on the offensive line. I wouldn't be too surprised if they tried to go with the run one more time to see if they could get it. But they're probably going to mix it up here, probably go to the pass and let Ionati make something happen with his legs if he has to, too. Maybe roll him out to that left side. We'll see what they decide to do.
Ionati out of the gun. Gets it back to Young. Young up the middle, has some room, gets pushed in and stuffed right by the goal line.
He's got to be.
As he lost the ball. I think he was down, though.
He's got it has to be marked right on.
He was very close.
Right on, it should be second and inches. I don't think that's a very good spot when we.
I agree with you, Chris. I think a little short. We have a player down, though, for Racine defender. I'm trying to get a number on it. I think it was 92. Dustin Edmonds, defensive lineman, interior lineman, as he is not getting up.
They have that marked at the 1-yard line. That should be marked in between the 1-yard line and the goal line. Is where it looks like after seeing the replay where that should be. He was really close to getting to that line on that push. It was a good job pushing him back to not allow him to get into the end zone. And yeah, he holds the ball all the way down to the turf.
That was Kyle King, number 94, defensive lineman as he does come off the field. He looks to be okay.
Yeah, that spot still surprises me, though. As I'm looking, we get a better view. It's nice we get a couple of angles to look at the run here. And when you look at where the contact is made, it's right about at where the line is. So that's not a very good spot for the Chaos there.
But still 3rd and goal, though. You still have C.J. Young in there. He's ran the ball tough all season. Ionati out of the shotgun, 4 wide receiver spread, 1 yard to go. Trying to get the Chaos back in this football game. Ionati gives it to Young. Young up the middle, hits, keeps turning. He is in. Touchdown, Chaos.
And you know what? That play almost was blown up in the backfield. Ionati and Young were a little bit off with the handoff, so he didn't quite get his feet going as fast as he wanted to. But he still manages to bounce it off the line and gets in for the touchdown.
2nd touchdown of the afternoon for the Chaos. Makes it 13 points for them. 28-13. Raiders still lead. C.J. Young now with his 5th rushing touchdown of the season. He leads all Chaos runners with that high of 5. The extra point is good. So 14 now, 28. Chaos still trail with 7 minutes and 17 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter.
And that touchdown brought to you by Grip Mouth Guards. Your performance is worthy of more than a boil and bite. Grip Mouth Guards is a custom mouth guard laboratory located in Melrose Park. Each of their mouth guards is carefully designed and handcrafted to your specifications. Visit them at www.gripmouthguards.com.
So a scoring summary on that drive, it was 9-yard drive, as that was right before that drive. Quinnell Johnson had that interception thrown by quarterback Craig McClellan, his first of the day, and Johnson brought it back to the 9-yard line. Chaos came out, they got pushed back 5 yards initially, then the Ionati on the run got another penalty, which gave them an automatic first down, and it was just 3 running plays of C.J. Young from the 4-yard line, 4 yards, touchdown, book it.
I mean, it was a play that Chicago needed. The turnover was definitely something that Chicago needed, especially on the defensive side. They needed something really good to happen. Finally did. Gives them a little bit of confidence now. It was a mistake made by Craig McClellan that they took advantage of, and that's what you have to do on defense, because there have been a couple of mistakes made by their offense. They're not going to be perfect the entire time.
So the kickoff is a squib kick over the middle across the 35. Down to the 30. Could not pick it up. Taken by Marvin Roan Jr. as he falls on out of the Chaos. Chaos have it.
Wow. Marvin making up for one of his plays earlier where he got beat in the corner of the end zone. And we had just gotten word, too, that there's going to be a new quarterback for Racine once they go back on offense. But now we won't find out for another drive.
I am okay with that because the Chaos now, we get to see their offense back on the field. 28-14, and this game has changed over in favor of the Chaos now. Marvin Roan Jr.
Yeah, and you saw it trying to pick it up for Racine. It looks like, I think it might have been Torrey Ruffin was the one, and he went down on the field and he didn't get up.
So the Chaos will start this drive from the 28-yard line. Talking about the last 3 drives from the 17, from the 9, and now from the 28.
Sorry, that wasn't Torrey Ruffin. Can't quite see the number of the player who was trying to pick it up because he didn't get up after he couldn't pick it up.
So Anthony Ionati out of the shotgun, trips to the left. He's got McFarland, lone receiver on the right in single coverage. Ionati takes the snap, looks to the left over to Former, takes the throw, deep to the end zone to Brockman, overthrown, could not hold it in. 2nd down for the Chaos coming up.
Well, it was good coverage on the inside shoulder by the defensive back. I believe that was Nate Hurd who was on Brockman. He really couldn't continue his stride because he was just in a good position. He just continued to push him towards that sideline.
Anthony Ionati now 8 for 18, uncharacteristic of him. He's not been able to get a rhythm though, Chris.
No, he hasn't, and you have to credit the Racine Raiders defense for that. They made it really tough on him. I like the decision there by Ionati. They had, I don't know if it was designed fake screen or not, but they had the look for the screen, but they looked downfield instead.
Ionati out of the gun, empty backfield, 5 wide receiver set. Dropping back, throws to the left. Brockman not looking, neither is Johnson, almost intercepted as no communication there.
That
and
was
be 3rd and 10.
And Ionati talking as he and number
Jarrell Johnson, the running back,
they
was
were
lined up as a receiver. They have a timeout now.
They were off. They were not on the same page there. Not a bad time to take a timeout if you're Chicago. You really need to get on the same page. You can't have plays like that happen, especially when you're trying to get back into this, when you're trying to get this back to a one-score game. So a good time to talk about it. Clearly that ball hits, as you saw, hit the turf. Was not an interception, but very close to being one. No doubt about it. I mean, a good break on the ball by Nate Hurd. There's no doubt. We've been saying his name a couple of times now.
We have. We talk about the third quarter here for the Chaos, and it's been their defense really getting the job done, special teams getting the job done. You know, Former had the big kick return, which in turn led them to that excellent field position start, Chris, from the 17-yard line. Then they had the 9-yard start of the Raiders, 9-yard to start their drive, and now the 28 of the Raiders. So it's been field position has been excellent for the Chaos here in this third quarter.
And just got word that it's Anthony Johnson who will go in at quarterback for Racine once they get the ball back.
Anthony Johnson last week was the player of the week for the MSFL. Very good quarterback for them. Huge luxury to have a guy like him in second string. Ionati out of shotgun, 4 wide receiver set. Scrambles to his left. Flag down. He throws to Brockman, incomplete. Pending the flag. It might be a holding.
This one might be coming back. I mean, it might not matter. They might just go with the – they might make this go to 4th down.
Holding, 61, offense.
Well, it looks like it was accepted, so, well –
I don't understand why they were accepted, though.
No, it wasn't accepted.
Yeah.
It was declined.
So, yeah.
I was a little surprised by it, too, and they did decline it.
So 4th and 10 for the Chaos. They stay on the field, need a score here. Again, down 28-14. They can push this to a one-possession game with a touchdown on this drive, but tough here, 4th and 10.
Yeah, it was a little bit off that throw to that left side, too, from Ionati. He's been having trouble running to his left and then throwing to his left. As a righty, that is a tough throw as it is anyway.
Anthony Ionati out of the shotgun. 4 wide receivers set. Johnson in the backfield on the side with Ionati. Drops back. Pressure coming. Throws over the middle. Overthrows James Former. Pressure got to Ionati. He delivered a pass that was well over the head of Former. Turnover on downs. Second turnover on downs of the afternoon for the Chaos, and the Raiders will take over.
Well, and you look at this throw, too, it looks like they were off. They weren't on the same page as cutting more an angle on the throw was Former. And it looked like Ionati thought that he was going to take more of a fly route there than what he did. It was more of a post route, it looked like.
So we have a quarterback change. Anthony Johnson will come in, number 15, and play quarterback for the Raiders. He comes in under center in a big single back formation. Drops back to throw. Pressure coming. He's trying to run with it. Gets a hand on him as the defender. Now Nick Olson tries bringing him down and does, but Johnson does get the ball away. Incomplete. 2nd and 10 coming up for the Raiders.
Great job by Olson to stick with it. He was able to get over there in pursuit and make it harder on him to make that throw. And he was throwing as he was getting taken down, too.
This defense has been on the field for a long time. Make it 22 minutes and 55 seconds and counting. Nick Olson leads this defense with 7 tackles. Christian Grantham has played pretty well. He has 5 tackles. And Ricky Jurcek, Cornell Johnson, Lorenzo Brandon each have 3. Cornell Johnson had that interception earlier, which led to a touchdown for the Chaos here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I think he has 9 total, too, because he's got 2 assists.
So under center is Johnson. Hands it off to Galvin as he tries to stumble forward. He picks up maybe 2-3 yards.
Tried to roll over the back of his player, but I think his knee had already touched the ground, so didn't get that extra 2 yards that he wanted there. Not a bad gain, but it's a 3rd and long. They haven't had many of these for Racine, so this is really a big moment for the Chicago Chaos defense. Have you improved? Have you made the proper adjustments? Can you stop them on this 3rd and long?
Chaos have done a good job on Tyrone Galvin as he's had 10 rushes for 28 yards, only 2.8 average, has not found the end zone in this game. Out of the shotgun is Anthony Johnson. Wide receiver to the right, 1 to the left. Johnson takes the snap. Throws deep, has a man. Caught at the 20, stays in bounds to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown Raiders. No flags on the play.
And just like that, it goes back to a 3-score lead for Racine.
A big pass there. Johnson to Fitch for the touchdown.
And Dylan Hunter, the player in coverage there who gets beat on the outside.
And just a heartbreaker right there for the Chaos, as that is a 72-yard throw, catch, and run. Catch was made at about the 25-yard line. Breaks the tackle, stays in bounds, and trots in the end zone was Terrence Fitch.
Well, that's a perfect throw.
Terrence Fitch now 3 catches, 101 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
That was a perfect throw, and Dylan Hunter was a step or 2 behind. He got to catch up a little bit because having to slow down was the receiver.
And excuse me, scratch that. That was his first touchdown. The other touchdown was Morris on the reception. The other one was Galvin on the shuttle pass.
And here you get another view, and you see not able to get his hand there in time was Hunter. Also a great catch, too, with that pressure starting to come by Fitch. But still, for Dylan Hunter, that's too much separation between yourself and Fitch. The only reason you got close to Fitch in the end was because the throw was a little bit off. So you can't be relying on a throw to be off to stay with your man. So for Dylan Hunter, didn't see why he got beat on that outside as bad as he did. But, I mean, you can't have that happen.
So Anthony Johnson comes in, incomplete on his first pass. Second pass, 69-yard touchdown throw and catch.
But you have to give a lot of credit, too, to Anthony Johnson. He recognized it was single coverage on the outside. The safety was late getting over.
So now the Racine Raiders will kick off with a 35-14 lead here past halfway through the third quarter. The kick is a deep one. Former back to return from his own 5. Takes it to the 10, to the 15, to the outside now to the 20. Fakes, breaks a tackle, cuts back inside, now tries to go to the outside and lost his footing.
He's
possibly
mad.
had some more yards there.
He probably had a lot of yards. So he could have stayed on his feet.
Tagged down at about the 26-yard line. Former very upset with himself. As man, he could have broken that one.
I feel like Former's been one of the best players for
James
the Chaos
Former
tonight,
has been
today.
unbelievable. I mean, talk about he's had 5 catches for 58 yards. He had the touchdown that was negated. He's had the kick returns. That kick return earlier in the second half, the punt return, excuse me, that brought them back, had set them up at the 9-yard line, was a return of 54 yards.
As you see, great job avoiding a tackle there, and somehow just manages to avoid those 2 players there, one of them being Ruffin, who's been one of the best tacklers on this Racine Raiders team.
So Anthony Ionati back out from the gun. Fumble snap, Ionati able to fall on it and grab it. So, and the Chaos really lose the momentum now. As there'll be second down, Anthony Ionati could not handle that. Lucky he was able to get back on top of it.
Very lucky. Ironclaw Tactical designs superior firearms and accessories for all American hunters, sportsmen, and gun enthusiasts. If you are any of those or all, make sure Ironclaw Tactical is on your list of liked Facebook pages. Or visit them at ironclawtactical.com.
Talk about receiving, too. James Former, the only receiver on this team that has more than 1 catch. Ionati, high snap, throws to the right, incomplete pass. Intended receiver was Deshaun Sutton.
It looked like he was just trying to get rid of that quickly. He felt pressure coming onto him real fast, and that was really his only option to maybe have a chance at a play.
Yes, Matthew Brockman only has 1 catch. You talk about James Former, who's leading this receiving unit. Hey, he has 4 catches. Josh Hampton only has 1 catch. You talk about Chad McFarland has 1 catch. These receivers have got to find ways of getting open and helping out Ionati, and Ionati's got to deliver the passes. So Ionati out of the shotgun, 4 wide receivers set. Johnson, lone running back in the backfield alongside. Blitz coming up the middle, picked up. Ionati scrambles to the left. He has a man on the outside. Is Josh Hampton. making the catch at the 29-yard line. Nice throw and catch. Gonna make it a. So catch is called complete. He was near the sidelines.
Yeah, it looked like it was a completed catch, but here's the big thing. You have a blitz like that coming, you have to recognize where there's going to be openings. And it's unfortunately because the play was designed to go to the left side and not to the right, because the right side is where the blitz was coming from. And that's where there was a lot more room to maybe make a bigger play.
So Josh Hampton makes his second catch of the afternoon. Anthony Ionati now 9 of 23, 77 yards. Last week he passed for over 300. Ionati out of the gun, throws to the outside, incomplete as James Former could not haul it in. He was double covered, but he used his speed to get by.
That ends up being a turnover on downs, too, at a really a terrible time and a terrible place on the field, because now you give Racine great field position. But this one here is on Former. This is a good throw. Might have gotten a little bit of a tip there, but it was still delivered perfectly into his hands. He's got to catch that one.
James Former, that would have been his 5th catch. As I said earlier, 4 catches, 58 yards. Has been one of the best offensive players here for the Chaos this afternoon, but failed to make the catch there and pick up a first down for the Chaos. Now back out is Anthony Johnson out of this weak eye. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left, hands off to his fullback up the middle, finds some room, finally gets wrestled down by Nick Olson, number 5 of the Chaos, Lewis Stallworth.
They kind of caught Chicago off guard there, because it looked like it was going to be a run to the left with the running back, and there was a little bit of confusion on the handoff because, I mean, Connor Flannery kind of just ran into his quarterback.
Yeah, Connor Flannery,
Anthony Johnson,
the fullback of this team. That was only his 2nd carry of the afternoon. I'm sorry, his 3rd carry of the afternoon. That went for a 13-yard gain. He now has 20, 6.7 average. They use a lot of different running backs, this Racine Raiders squad. Strong I formation, and Johnson under center, takes the snap, scrambles to the left of the option, and he pitches it back to Lashley, and Lashley picks up a few yards to start Johnson. Great play there as Nick Olson wrapped him up.
Yeah, a little bit of luck there, too, on that flip. That was a ball that held up in that air quite a bit. I thought maybe there's going to be a chance for a Chicago Chaos player to take it away. As you watch the flip again, I mean, he just gets this out, and he flips it again high in the air. When you're doing that option flip, you don't usually want to put that much air under it, because usually you're going to get the running back lit up.
Ivory Lashley now the 2nd running back on this team with 10 rushes. He has 39 yards. Out of the left, moves Connor in motion, hands off to Lashley. He breaks the tackle right again, cuts back inside, finds some room, and gets forward. And these running backs and receivers of Racine finding holes and getting through them to get some extra yards, Chris.
Well, they've been doing a lot of counters, some of them, but now it's been misdirection. As you saw there, kind of the misdirection handoff. Looks like it's going to be a handoff off to the left side of the line, but he cuts it back to the right side and finds some room to run.
And Ivory Lashley now up over 40 yards to 43 yards on 11 carries. Good afternoon for Ivory Lashley.
Yeah, 27-24 their rush to pass ratio, so a little bit more on the rush side, but that's all right because they have the big lead, and now they can continue to run that ball.
And that was
still 3rd down.
That was a false start, as you just heard from the official. They blew it dead, 5-yard penalty. So that will move the Raiders back a few.
3rd and 6 for the Raiders.
Be 3rd and 6.
Waiting to see where the flinch comes from. I think it's going to be on that left side. Looked like maybe it was, I think, there on the left.
And you can tell, though, with Anthony Johnson, completely different quarterback from Craig McClellan.
Yeah.
Anthony Johnson out of the shotgun, 4 wide receiver spread. He's got Lashley in the backfield alongside with him to his left. Takes the snap. Pressure coming. Scrambles. Finds a hole up middle. Keeps his eyes downfield. Throws in the corner of the end zone. Touchdown. Caught by Steve Morris. His 2nd touchdown reception of the day.
A lot of room there on the left side. It was David Palma who was in coverage there on the left. I'm not sure if it was the zone coverage or not. I didn't get that good of a look at it, but he was far away from the receiver.
Anthony Johnson now 2 for 3 with 81 yards and 2 touchdowns. So
I mean, good job, too, by Johnson. He steps up through the pocket to create that space for him.
And the extra point is up, and it hits the crossbar on the right, so no good. So 41-14, Raiders lead Chaos here late in the third quarter.
I think, Cody, you talked up their kicker a little bit too much, and he got nervous. As we get to look here again at the great play by Anthony Johnson.
We just got word, too, Chris, attendance in today's game here in Racine, 1,412.
That's a good attendance. That's a really
great
good attendance.
turnout here at historic Horlick Athletic Field in Racine, Wisconsin. And they have an excellent program here, are the Raiders. So look at that replay one more time. Chris, what did you see here?
It looks like maybe even just blown coverage. Either way, I mean, a great job for a play that looked like it was going to be blown up in the backfield. Anthony Johnson creates something out of nothing.
That's one thing both quarterbacks have done very well in this game are the Raiders, Anthony Johnson, and earlier in the first half, Craig McClellan is keeping their eyes downfield and scrambling outside of pressure to find open receivers.
Yeah, and looking at it here, it was man coverage. It doesn't look like it was zone coverage. So, again, it has to be blown coverage then on the outside. Consider all the good you do in your life and all those you touch, support, and inspire. New York Life Insurance Company is here to help you continue that good.
Sheppy kicks it off deep to Former, and he has a jump to catch it as he backpedals to his 2-yard line. Now takes it across the 10, out to the left, across the 15, gets hit, stays on his feet, trying to turn forward, and finally gets wrestled down by multiple Racine defenders at the 20. And we have a flag on the play as Brockman got into it, and now some more players from the Chaos getting into it with the Raiders.
Well, I think the frustration maybe is finally starting to boil over.
So we're waiting for word from the official on the flag as he made a face mask gesture.
We got a personal foul, face mask. Black or Raider 58. It'll be 15 yards, end of the run, first down.
So Aaron Hilliard, Raider special teams defender.
We thought maybe that the flag was going to be for something that happened a little bit afterwards, but
see, that's what I thought initially. Then I saw the official make the
hands to the
hand
face
gesture for the hands to the face. So
waiting for it to come because I think it's here at the end. Can't quite see through the pile, but there's definitely something there. Oh yeah, you definitely see it there. That's why you have the frustration, because there was the hands to the face.
And Chris, you talk about the play at Anthony Anani today. He's 9 for 24, 77 yards, and he's really the catalyst and driving force of this offense. And this is why they can't really move the ball too well.
I mean, part of it is he's been a little bit off with his throws, but his receivers aren't really helping him out either. I mean, you look at some of the misses by his receivers, like Former with a drop pass that he shouldn't have dropped.
And Ionati hands out to Johnson. That goes nowhere. Terrell Johnson has a very rough day, one of the best running backs in the GFL. He hasn't even ran for more than 5 yards.
Well, and here's part of the reason why he hasn't had that many runs. What have the Chaos had a lead or had this game tied?
They were tied in the first quarter, but after that possession, the offense possession, they were never tied again. So it's tough to run. Understand when you're losing, but
TNT Athletics, located in Crystal Lake, Illinois. TNT provides athletic-based training to youth and adults.
I-90 throws a screen pass to Former, and it is ripped up early as Former goes nowhere on his 5th catch of the afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, you get a couple of yards there, but great job swarming to the ball by the Raiders defense. TNT Athletics provides athletic-based training to youth adults in very high-energy environment. From strength training for high school athletes to weight loss programs for parents, TNT is here to help you reach your fitness goals.
That's going to do it for the third quarter. I'm going to run through really quick the defensive leaders of this Racine Raiders squad. 5 tackles for Torrey Ruffin, 3 tackles for Deverton Davis, 3 tackles for J.D. Harris. So this Raiders defense has been all over the field too. but they haven't been on the field as much as the Chaos defense.
No, they have not. I mean, when you look at the time of possession for these two teams, it's going to be skewed pretty heavily in favor of the Racine Raiders, and that's something that Chicago will get to talk about. This is one of the good things here about this cross-league competition. You really get to, like you said, it's a measuring stick, but not only that, you get to see some of the things that against some of the better competition, you get to see things that maybe you don't see on film.
And this is going to help the Chaos moving forward. You know, this is also Chaos' first year playing 11-on-11 football, and this Racine Raiders team is used to it. I'm not making any excuses for the Chaos, but it's going to help them moving forward and help them build their team up to even a better team than they were the last 3 years.
Right, exactly. I mean, it's definitely a transition, too, from 11-on-11 to from 9-on-9 to 11-on-11. That's something that people need to realize as well. I mean, you think, oh, what's the difference? A couple more linemen, but that does make a difference, especially because now you have a couple more guys on your line that you have to be in sync with when you're trying to block and when you're trying to do everything else, even on the defensive side, too.
Quick rundown too. It's good to see the flags in this game aren't really flying too much. It's been very well officiated.
There has
5 penalties for the Chaos for 30 yards and 6 penalties for the Raiders for 49. So it's been very similar. Look at the schedule, Chris. Next week, the Chaos on the 10th, actually this Friday, will be in Zion to play the Atomic Swarm. That game is at 8 p.m. Week after will be the last regular season home game against the North Shore Express on the 17th. And then a week after that, on Friday again, the 24th, they'll be away. Anthony Nye drops back, throws deep over the middle. He had a player in Josh Hampton and overthrew the pass.
And on his pass incomplete.
And that's been the story of the day for the Chaos. Have not been able to capitalize on big opportunities. One more look at the replay. Ionati had Hampton, had the defender beat. Anthony Ionati now 10 for 26. Very, very surprising statistics for Anthony Ionati in this game.
Not what Chicago Chaos
Not
fans
what Chicago Chaos are used to, exactly.
But you know what? You can't expect your quarterback to be perfect every game.
No, you cannot.
That is one thing.
He's had 2 stellar weeks, and you come into a game against the Racine Raiders, one of the best football teams in the country. The punt now on the 4th down is going to be down at the 1-yard line, it looks like. And it will be, as running down there for the Chaos was Christian Grant, and the fans don't like the call. It's hard to see from our angle if any part of his back hit the goal line.
We'll get a little bit of a better view of it here.
He waited pretty long to finally
He did wait
down
quite
it.
a long time. And that was good. Yeah, he wasn't on the line. When you look at it there, it looks like he touches it before his back gets to the line. So good call by the officials, I think.
So that ball is actually spotted inside the 1. So good opportunity here for this Chaos defense. Still down 41-14. A long road back to tie this game, but try to make some things happen. This is a good opportunity for this team to go up against one of the best teams in Wisconsin, the Racine Raiders. And it's quarterback keeper Anthony Johnson. He picks up a few yards, trying to get some more room for his offense.
So a pretty good write-up here in the program provided to us from the Racine Raiders about Anthony Johnson as well. Talks about how he doesn't really, his concentration isn't just on football. He works with at-risk youths.
He wanted to play basketball, actually. That was his dream, was to be in the NBA.
Yes, but found his love for football later on in life, and pretty good quarterback from what we've seen so far.
Anthony Johnson out of the strong eye. Turns to his left, hands it off to his running back up the middle. Trying to find some room. He does. Gets forward, still fighting. Gets down about the 10-yard line, very close to the 1st down. Waiting on a signal. The spot is a good one. I think he's going to be just short as the far line judge rules it. So about 3rd and inches here for the Raiders.
Definitely very close. I'm surprised some of these they haven't brought out the chains to measure. I mean, at this point with the score,
I am surprised about that because they've been very close. It's kind of a point where maybe you need the extra chain, as Tyrone Galvin now 11 carries for 34 yards. And the quarterback keeper for Johnson, he finds some room, and he's going to get enough for a first down.
Yeah, it looked like his line got enough push in front of him as it was, so he will pick up that first down for them. And right now,
the 21st first down of the game for the Raiders.
Yeah, and right now it's all about trying to kill the rest of the time.
Yes. So, see on your screen at the top, 13-19 and counting here in this game, as the Raiders up 41-14. Johnson out of the shotgun, hands it off to Galvin to the outside on the left, and runs out of bounds across the 15 to about the 16-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down and 7 for the Raiders. Johnson now to 37 yards rushing on the afternoon.
Yeah, and a good job here by the defensive line for Chicago. They've got a little bit more of a hint of what's going to be happening for Racine, because now it's kind of time for them to try and run out the clock and just get a win here in this exhibition game.
Anthony Johnson out of the shotgun, drops back to pass, looks left, flips it to his tight end. Over to the 20, to the 25, brought down at about the 27-yard line. Number 45, Chris Hicks, his 2nd catch of the game.
Now, did he stay in bounds? They have the clock running still. Yeah, it is still running. So a good job staying in bounds to keep the clock going, but a really good play there too, because he was right in the middle of that line, coming back for the ball and just exploded out, finding where the opening was.
So first down here now for the Raiders, as Johnson under center, drops back, hands it off, up the middle, brought down quick. Nick Olson in there again. He's got 8 solo tackles and 3 assists. Give him a 4th one there. 12 total tackles on the game for Nick Olson, one of the best tacklers in the GFL for this Chaos defense.
I think when the Chaos go back and look at this, as you see the replay of it there, and Olson is just a beast in that middle. I think it's more the secondary that's had some trouble for Chicago. And some of the runs have come from the middle, yeah, but I think it's more on the outside. That's where the really big plays have come, and some of the big touchdown plays too.
Anthony Johnson out of the shotgun, looks right now, looks left, pressure coming, scrambles to the right, throws one over the middle, dropped at about the 35-yard line. The intended receiver on the play was Dorian Palmer, trying to make a play on it. Looking maybe to run before making the catch.
And that's the other thing, too, that I think Chicago will look at, is their defensive line didn't play as well as they're normally used to. They didn't get to the quarterback quite as much. Now, granted, that's also partly because the quarterbacks like Anthony Johnson and previously earlier in the game
Craig McClellan.
And McClellan were really good at avoiding the rush and feeling the rush as it was coming and stepping into the pocket in the open areas. Also because their offensive line did a good job of giving them that pocket to step into.
Anthony Johnson out of the shotgun, low snap, corrals it, throws a deep high floater to the right to his tight end, incomplete. Chris Hicks, intended receiver. The Raiders have thrown for 297 yards here this afternoon and 5 touchdowns. And as a Chaos fan, or as a Chaos supporter, you really have not seen the Chaos defense give up this many yards or this many points. Now, every team has an off week, and this is a different team in Racine, but still excellent experience. Good opportunity here for Chicago Chaos to extend and become a better team after this game.
Good coverage there by Marvin Rohn on that last play, too. He was actually the player with the best chance at even getting the ball.
So 4th down, the punt. Lets it go, downed at about the 36-yard line by number 13 of the Raiders. That was Tyler Elliott. And the Chaos offense will come back out onto the field.
Yeah, the offense here, just a chance to try and correct some mistakes against a good defense. And this game also brought to you by Your Dog's Guru. For more information, visit them at www.yourdogsguru.com or call them at 847-446-8290, Your Dog's Guru.
And you just look first downs in this game. Raiders have picked up 22. Chaos only 7. Passing yards have been lopsided, 297 for the Raiders, 76 for the Chaos. The rushing yards also
Timeout Chaos.
with 124 yards for the Raiders and 85 yards for the Chaos. We have a timeout by the Chaos. You look at the average per play, Raiders are picking up 7 yards per play, while the Chaos only picking up 4.4 yards a play. Turnovers, each team has 2. The Chaos has two fumbles, and the Raiders, and Chaos have 2 turnover on downs, while the Raiders have the interception and the fumble on a kick return. Kick return yardage has been all Chaos, as they have 138. And we talked about earlier the amazing return men of the Raiders. Chaos has done a good job keeping away from them.
They have.
And more things. Scheduled back up, I want to add the 24th game at Wilmot Phoenix, the last game of the regular season. The last game to get prepped going into the playoffs. That game is also at 8 p.m. One more home game for the Chaos, so come out to that. July 17th.
Yeah, that one against the Northern Express.
And they're pulling out all the stops of that game. They're going to have a halftime show, which is sponsored by Guitar Center. So it should be a fun time, not just football, but entertainment too. So Chaos back out here on offense. Out of the gun is Anthony Iannotti. 4 wide receivers set. Hands the ball off to C.J. Young. He's stuffed and pushed back, and Iannotti took a hit trying to block. Brockman took a hit trying to block.
C.J. Young on the carry. Stopped by...
That mistake there. Iannotti not in the game anymore. That was Matthew Brockman playing quarterback. We've seen him play quarterback a little bit. A couple weeks ago, he's had some experience in there. So Matthew Brockman comes up for his second snap as quarterback.
For Brockman, I mean, you were talking about needing a backup, but you also give Iannotti some time on the sideline.
Yes.
Kind of review things and don't put him in harm's way. He's too important to your team.
And Brockman faked the handoff and runs it himself to the outside. Will be well short of the first down. It's going to be about 11 yards to go here.
And now we'll get to see Brockman throw.
Now, I remember the game. I don't think you were here, Matthew Brockman. He threw a touchdown pass. He ran for a touchdown.
And did he catch a touchdown?
He caught a touchdown, I believe, too. And he played some defense. He forced a fumble and recovered it. I mean, if you had him on a fantasy football team, he would have had a huge day.
Yeah, and you saw just a designed run there. He fakes the handoff and takes it himself to the right.
So Matthew Brockman out of the shotgun. And you're going to stop the play here. Should be a false start. So they blew the play dead.
False start, offense, number 23, 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
So 41-14 here. 9 minutes, 43 seconds to go in this game. I have a 3rd and 17 for the Chaos. And we talked about the struggles on offense, Chris, the struggles on defense. I mean, a lot of negatives from this game, but what positives do you take moving forward?
Well, I mean, you look at the early part of the game, they were right there with Racine most of the first half.
Matthew Brockman drops back out of the shotgun, throws, and that's going to be a late hit. Where's the penalty on that?
That needs to be a flag.
That was a where is the penalty? And they're not going to call anything a stumbling. That ball was way out of play in number 58 on the Raiders.
What surprises me is that the
Aaron
official
Hilliard
on the far side who actually had a view of it, one official didn't even see it. He had his back turned.
Now,
so that official didn't see it. But he had the official upfield past the first down marker who had a clear view of it. You've got to throw that flag. I know the score is what it is, but you have to throw the flag there.
Now, we've seen nothing but class from the Racine Raiders.
I don't think
that was I think he was just trying to make a hit on the ball, but it was late. That was a penalty.
Yeah.
You got to call that. So the punt now for the Chaos on 4th down is a good one, taken by number 30 across the 40, across the 50, gets some blocks, down to the 40, finally brought down at the 35. On the return was Torrey Ruffin, who's had an excellent game. 5 tackles on defense. We've called his name a lot.
There was a flag, I believe, too.
I don't see it on the field, but I did hear the PA announce the flag.
There was one. I saw it get thrown. I have to see what it is. There's some talking going on, too, it looks like.
Holding on the return, 25 on the receiving team. We'll go 10 yards from the spot of the foul. 1st and 10 receive.
Tyrone Galvin gets called for the hold on the return. Torrey Ruffin still excellent return there. Got down to the 40.
And Torrey Ruffin was doing some talking there at the end, too, with Dominic Kozlowski.
So now from the 48-yard line, their own 48-yard line, Racine Raiders clocking down here, end of the game, less than 10 to go. Anthony Johnson out of the shotgun, 4 wide receivers set. Drops back to throw, looks to his left, now to his right, scrambles to the right side, getting pressure, throws deep over the middle, caught at the 27-yard line, breaks a few tackles, gets down in the 25 to about the 23. On the catch was number 9, DJ Smith.
Nice job by Anthony Johnson to just make time for himself again. I mean,
Anthony Johnson, 3 for 4 in this game, over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns.
And you see there, I mean, we were talking about the defensive line on that replay. You saw they get pressure, but they're not able to contain.
No.
That's been the biggest issue for them so far is, yeah, you're getting a little bit of pressure, but you're not getting to the quarterback.
So now from the 23, Anthony Johnson out of the shotgun, 4 wide receiver set, takes the snap, hands off to his running back up the middle, breaks through, gets a few yards down to about the 16. That was number 22, Howard Triplett. Back to your point, though, Chris. I want you to finish it.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting some good push. They're getting through the holes a couple of times, but they're not finishing.
Well, they haven't really faced a quarterback like Johnson or, in the first half, Mike McClellan. So it's a new thing to them, so it's going to be a learning experience for this Chaos defense.
I mean, it's not quite that you have to contain because they're not guys who are trying to run on you, but you have to get to them. You're getting through the line, but you're not finishing the play. That you just have to finish the play, and that's the big thing.
Anthony Johnson hands it back off to Triplett. Triplett out to the right, jumps over a defender, down to the 10, inside the 5, spins over to about the 3-yard line, finally pushed out of bounds. So the Raiders threatening again to put up some more points on this board, already up 41-14 over the Chaos. 7 minutes, 30 seconds.
10 yards from the spot of the foul, replay the down.
Holding there by the Raiders, number 76, Dan Weber, as you heard from the official. So 10-yard penalty, so bring that back.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate for Racine because it was a very good run by their running back.
So from the 22-yard line, outside the red zone now are the Raiders. Out of the gun is Johnson. 2 wide receivers outside on both sides. Johnson drops back, pressure coming, throws over the middle, caught at the 10-yard line, breaks it to the left, picks up maybe in 1 extra yard to the 9. That's number 3 on the play, Sam D'Elia. Sam D'Elia having a heck of a game. Receiver.
And that was a perfect throw to D'Elia from Johnson. I mean, he didn't even have to stop, nothing. He caught that in stride, continued running to the left, and got that past that first down marker and a little bit more. I mean, that's a strike.
Johnson now 5 for 8, 134 yards. And D'Elia, I believe that was his 4th catch of the afternoon, playing some very good football here. Johnson out of the shotgun, 2 wide receivers left, 2 to the right, hands it off to Triplett. Triplett finds a hole up the middle, bounces in, he scores, touchdown, Raiders.
And they're just keeping their balance here, too, throughout the entire time, Cody. They're not really passing. They're passing about almost as much as they are running, just methodically going down the field as they have.
Yeah, you say the word methodical, I think is an excellent word to use for this Racine Raiders offense. As you saw Triplett there.
Trying to get in there and take that ball away, too, as he tried to punch it free, was Darren Little. Just couldn't get onto the ball, though. I mean, it's really been tough on the Chaos defense. They spent a lot of time out there on the field as it is anyways, and really this Racine Raiders offense just picked them apart.
Yeah, and you talk about Triplett. He's their third-string running back. They can use a lot of guys in the backfield for this Raiders offense. As one more look at that touchdown run by Triplett.
And I don't think we've seen J.R. Taylor at all.
And another missed extra point, as usually this kicker, Justin Sheppy for the Racine Raiders is very good. He was 23 or 25 coming into this game. Extra points, he's missed 2.
Yeah, I was trying to see if maybe somebody got in there in time for the chaos. Didn't quite look like it. It's hard to tell. But either way, I mean.
So now 47-14.
Yeah, it is surprising. And was that was off the crossbar, too.
What odds? Jeez. So, Chaos return team will head back out onto the field. Back deep to receive now is Sham McFarland. And you also have Jason Sumling about 10 yards up ahead of McFarland.
This is going to be a tough game to watch for film, for the Chaos, but it's a necessary game to watch.
Yes, you know, all season long, the Chaos are pretty much dominating their opponent, coming today to a very good Racine team, and they have to look at this as a learning experience, which will help them moving forward.
And this is the team that's at the top of the NWSL right now, too. 2-0 so far on their season.
So the kickoff, back deep to receive, is McFarland, takes it from the 15. Out to the 20 on the right, cuts back to the left, trying to go back inside, breaks a tackle, gets across the 25, down at about the 28-yard line.
You got to like that you don't see, like, quit in any of the players, though, on the Chaos side. They still want to finish this game out, and they want to finish it out strong. As you can see from really the running there of McFarland, I mean, that's a run that's hard, that he's not just packing it away.
No, there's no quit in this Chaos team. They're going to keep coming at you and keep fighting all the way till that clock hits 0.
And I said packing it away, I meant packing it in.
I understood what you were saying.
It's all right. I like to be correct with the things I say.
So Brockman out of the shotgun again. Ionati is okay. Just keep him out for the rest of this game. Brockman, 4 wide receivers set. Johnson in the backfield with him, hands it off to Johnson, fakes the handoff. Brockman keeps it up the middle, gains about 1 yard.
Maybe got a half a yard. It was very close to almost no gain.
So it'll be second down. And talk about the Chaos in this game. They were 6-1 coming into this afternoon. The Raiders 4-1.
The defensive line for the Racine Raiders has really been a big part of why they've done so well defensively. They get through these holes and really make it tough on the running backs' lives, so that's why you haven't seen too many big gains as it is anyway.
Chaos, usually an excellent running team, 14 carries, 84 yards today, not getting the job done on the ground or the pass, only 76 yards passing.
Ionati hasn't had a whole lot of time when he was out there throwing, too.
Brockman out of the gun, hands off to Johnson. Johnson cuts to the outside, trying to break free. Brought down for no gain. It's going to be a 3rd and 9, maybe lost a half yard on the play.
And that's another thing that they do. They recognize the run really well. Their pursuit gets into the play really quick. I mean, you see their defensive back coming up from his position to make that play.
It's just, it's tough, you know, that first touchdown really got the excitement going. The 75-yard run by Ionati, you thought Chaos were rolling, and just could not get anything going the rest of the way, though. So Brockman out of the shotgun. 4 wide receiver spread. Johnson in the backfield alongside with him. Brockman takes the snap. Looks downfield. Throws to the left to McFarland. Could not haul it in. The pass was low. Double coverage. Incomplete. Bring up 4th and 9.
Very quick with his throws, too, has been Brockman. He has really... I mean, I don't know if that's the design. I don't think it is, because that throw there isn't going to get you a first down as it is.
You know, to Brockman's credit, he's not on here to play quarterback. He's on here to play receiver. Doing a good job, though. Just trying to make something happen. 47-14. Raiders lead here on SportsTownChicago.com, home of the Chicago Chaos. As they will have to go back to the drawing board after this game. They have a short week as they will go on the road to Racine to play the Atomic Swarm this Friday. So 4th down and 9 here. They send the punt unit out. Is down to Kozlowski. Gets it off. Back deep is Galvin. Across the 35 to the 40. Breaks the tackle to the 50, to the 40, to the 30. Kicker to beat. To the 20, to the 10. Breaks by a tackle. Finally gets dragged down. And he's going to be stopped short at the 2-yard line. Making the touchdown saving tackle was John Oldziak, offensive lineman for this Chaos team.
Galvin finally getting an opportunity to return the ball. A nice job dragging him down, too.
Yeah, John Oldziak making the tackle.
He was the one who stopped him from crossing that goal line, and then he got the extra help there at the end from Dominic Kowalski.
And that
stuck in my throat.
Their punt returns now 4 returns for the Raiders, 148 yards. Have been very good on the return game. Under center, out of the I form is Johnson. Hands it off to Triplett, and he is in for a touchdown. Triplett's 2nd touchdown of the game. That's going to push the Raiders over the 50 mark to 53-14. They lead. And the fans here, over 1,400 in attendance.
Loving it. They
having
are.
a great time.
I mean, you're always happy as when your home team can get a big win like this, especially across a cross-league game. Those have a little bit, even though it's an exhibition, there's a little bit of an extra motivation when you're playing, I think.
Well, I mean, this is the first year these two leagues, the GFL and the MSFL, are merging. So good experience, though, for the GFL to try to get some playing time against these leagues who've been doing the 11-on-11 football for so long. So extra point is up, and that one is good.
The extra point is good.
So 54-14, the Raiders lead.
54, Chicago Chaos 14. I hope you didn't throw away your Raider report because we got
3 minutes and 57 seconds to go here in this game.
You have Raider report 6-1.
Yeah, it was quite the quick score for the Racine Raiders because of the big return, and they've really been taking it to Chicago here, even still in the second half. And like you had said earlier, Cody, they're not a team that lets up. They want to keep going until they don't want to lose momentum. They don't want to start to fall into bad habits.
And give it up to Racine. They came out strong, hungry, and they attacked, and they've taken it to this Chaos team. So the Chaos return men back out. McFarland lines up at about the 5-yard line. On the left hash mark, Sumling on the outside of the right hash mark at about the 14-yard line.
The one thing for this game too, when it's probably time for film, you probably don't watch the fourth quarter. This is a game where you watch the first 3.
Shepke kicks off, fumbled, bobbled, finally picked up by Sumling. Outside, gets to about the 20-yard line and is brought down at the knees by number 58, Aaron Hilliard.
And it's not too much of a surprise that focus is maybe kind of being lost now because you are down by quite a bit. The game's almost over. For Chicago, they're kind of ready to try and maybe get out of here soon. They want the clock to run out fairly quick.
Just a tough game for the Chaos. I mean,
it bounced off of his arms. I mean, I think
not the first time we saw that. Brockman had the touchdown that was dropped.
McFarland just took his eyes off it. I think maybe just a little bit too quick, was ready to run.
I don't think this Chaos team is short of talent to beat this Raiders team. It was just a lot of mistakes, mental mistakes. The block by Hampton that negated the touchdown for Former. And a lot of that, you talk about the momentum that swung because of that.
The momentum
it could have been a totally different game
until they didn't score the touchdown.
Brockman throws it, caught at about the 25, bringing it back inside of Sumling, and gets across the 25 now to about the 29-yard line, making the catch. Good gain there. Possession time for these teams, 33 minutes. the Raiders held the ball. The Chaos have held the ball for 22 minutes now and counting.
Wow.
You know, they're probably holding it for those last 3 minutes and 46 seconds. So, I mean, a huge difference in possession time. Third down conversions, the Raiders are 11 for 15 this afternoon. The Chaos only 2 for 11.
And I was going to say, that's going to be one of the big ones, and you saw in the replay there, pretty good play by Chicago. Great run after the catch was what really made that a better play and got them the first down.
And talk about the Raiders have over 600 yards of total offense when you add in the punt return and kick return yards. As Brockman takes the snap, throws to the left, skying for the catch, brought down by McFarland at about the 39-yard line. Nice play there by Sham McFarland. And Chris, I like the point you made. You probably in the film room, you don't watch this fourth quarter because of what really happened was the big difference in this game were second and third quarter. This fourth quarter is more of a formality at this point. You're trying to, you have Brockman at quarterback. He's not your quarterback moving forward. It's Ionati. The defenders of Racine, they have some backups in there now. So I like the point you made about that. What really happened with this game was the second quarter and that third quarter.
Yeah, it definitely was. And it's tough when the game starts to go like this. It's pretty much just snowballs.
And Brockman runs up the middle. Nice run as he broke the tackle at the 45 and got forward down at the 50 now. So first down there for the Chaos.
Good strength by Brockman as he's able to run through a couple of tackles and get the first down for his team once again. And they keep that clock moving as well as we're getting close to that 2-minute mark.
So Brockman now with 3 carries on the afternoon, 14 yards. As a team, they're at 96 rushing yards today, are the Chaos. You don't see that a whole lot where they have well, it's more of a balance between passing and rushing. Usually it's all passing for this Chaos team.
Yeah, it's been a lot more passing than they would like, that is for sure. So
and we're going to have a timeout here.
Yeah, I got to the 2-minute warning.
So 2 minutes to go in this game. Game pretty much over now. You're not going to come back and win it 54-14, but still important time here that you get on the field against a team like Racine. The Chaos in the huddle remain on the field while the Racine Raiders, a couple of guys on the sideline getting some water, coming back out onto the field now.
While we have a moment, I'd like to thank our great production staff. Dr. Pete Ferreri, he is the director, producer, and the guy who takes care of everything and makes this a great broadcast. And on the cameras, you've got Rosa and Robert Mercado and also Tim Helms. So the 3 great camera angles that you've gotten are thanks to those 3 people.
So Brockman out of the gun, throws a deep ball to the outside of McFarland, overthrown, about 5 yards overthrown. Incomplete. Going to be second down and 10 now.
And this game also brought to you by Driven Benson Supply, as they are another company as well that gives you this game. So we get to look at the replay here. I mean, not a bad idea here from Brockman. He's looking towards that left side, and he has a player with some separation, just threw the ball too deep.
And just, you know, again, Chris, talk about a tough loss to take, but you have to look at the positives of this game. You have to enjoy the opportunity that you're getting to play with the merger against the MSFL, a league that's been around for many years, playing 11-on-11 football. And the Chaos, like I said, I don't think they're short of talent. They have not executed today. As Brockman throws one deep over the middle, no one there, incomplete. It's going to be third down and 10 now. And you talk about a few different plays that really could have changed the outcome of this game.
Yeah, it really is just a couple of plays that made the difference, even though it's really big on the scoreboard. It's just once the ball, it was a snowball effect.
Yes,
so once
exactly.
it started to go, it just continued to build.
Like quicksand, you know, that you try to keep fighting harder and you keep getting sucked down even further, and it's just like, I mean, it's just tough if you're the Chaos. Just Murphy's Law, everything that can go wrong has gone wrong. The drop passes as Brockman runs to the outside, fighting for extra yardage, finally gets brought down. Helmet falling off of number 33 of the Raiders, Ross Teller.
And it's good to see here. There's no animosity between
not.
these two
Like
teams.
I said,
and you like to see that.
Both these teams, very classy organizations.
very well-run organizations on both sides, too.
I mean, when you're this successful, the Racine, how they are, the Raiders, how successful they are in the MSFL, how successful the Chaos are in the GFL, you have to be very well-run organizations. And even though the scoreboard is farther along than I want it to be, than some of us expected it to be, it was still a great thing that these two teams got to play football today on a Sunday afternoon here. At historic Horlick Athletic Field in Racine, Wisconsin.
There's a lot to be taken away if you're the Chaos here. There's some of it that you'll just throw away too, that chalk it up to a bad game, but there are some things that they can learn from this game as well.
So the Chaos, they took a timeout, coming back out on the field now, and the Chaos will fall to 6-2. Wisconsin Wolfpack, who they beat last week, pending their game, they are 5-1. The Chaos do hold the tiebreaker with a victory over the Wolfpack last week.
And you have to look at, and that goes by league play too. These exhibition games technically don't count against them in their regular season record for playoffs or seeding or anything like that.
So Brockman throws deep over the middle, intercepted there on the play by Teller. As he takes it to the 40, to the 50, gets a block down to the 40. Flag on the play as there's a Chaos player down. I don't know what the flag is going to be called. We're going to wait on that, but just capping off a day for the Chaos. They want to forget. Player down for the Chaos at the 50-yard line.
Yeah, there was 2 players down. You got one down now at the midfield line as well. Little surprised that this was run back. I thought he would probably just take a knee as soon as he caught it.
Injured player for the Chaos.
Number 73, or is that 70? Trying to get a word on it, is Nick Olson comes over with Josh Hampton to check on their teammate. Take a look at that replay and the interception.
See if we can see where the injury is, maybe. I mean, you have the one there that went along the sideline. That player's actually doing a lot better than the player down at midfield.
Yeah, he's back up on his feet now, sitting down on the bench, player bench. Getting up now, number 79, Jonathan Pope.
Yeah, and we couldn't even see he was already down on the field by the time the camera angle got to where he was.
And he gets a hand from the crowd. As he walks off the field, he looks to be okay. So we should have a few more plays left in this game. Under a minute 30 to go.
And we never got the announcement for what the
flag was. The flag they never announced it.
They did bring that ball back, so it might have been a holding or maybe something like that with where the spot is.
So under center, out of the weak eye, is Johnson. And he hands it off to his fullback on the play. I believe that was number 31, Marcus Baskin. As he picks up a few yards and the clock continues to click.
I think they can run out the rest, though, with just another. If they wanted to, I think they could actually go into the victory formation even.
Just take a knee and
then run out the rest of the
off.
clock.
So 54-14. Not the outcome that Chaos wanted for sure, but a good thing for the Chaos moving forward and the GFL that they have merged with the MSFL. It's going to be exciting to see these two leagues being able to compete against each other.
And now they do go into the victory formation. And it gives you a chance to get better, too, if you're the Chaos, to play some better competition. I mean,
yes.
You know, they've been a dominant team the past couple of years for the Chaos, and you need those humbling experiences sometimes.
Yep. So, again, the Chaos moved to 6-2, and the Racine Raiders moved to 5-1, as that's going to do it for this game. The Raiders passing was very good, 66%, 20 for 30. They only had one interception
where it looked like the
between Johnson and Craig McClellan, while the Chaos between Ionati and a little bit of Brockman, 12 for their favorite formation to run. Johnson in the backfield alongside Ionati. There a few minutes ago by Brockman as the players meet at midfield and they shake hands. Hand of Johnson. So very difficult loss here for the Chaos. Quarterback keeper across the 30, to the 40,
game.
across the
We get to look again at Ionati's 75-yard run touchdown here, which looked like it was going to be a
20,
big
can he
momentum
go all
changer
the way?
in the game.
Stumbles
but
in,
ended up
touchdown,
not being
Anthony
the case.
Ionati Exactly.
Oh,
on the run,
At
waiting
the
for a
time,
flag, no
very
flags called,
significant
that's
run
good,
to tie that game
6
at
points,
7-7
Ionati
early
goes,
in the first,
wow,
late in the first, early in
unbelievable.
the game.
But it just did not amount to anything more.
It definitely
they
has
didn't score again until the third quarter.
But that is definitely your play of
The
the game for
that
the
is
Chaos.
the play of the game for the Chaos. There's Anthony Ionati, quarterback, 75-yard run on the keeper. On the misdirection, fake handoff to Johnson. And around the outside, that was on a 3rd and 5. Move around, too.
Yeah,
He's
and
not the athlete,
a big
Ionati,
play,
but
thought,
he
okay,
is very
they're going to try and
smart
get the,
and where the pressure's
the
coming
first
from.
down
He knows
here,
the
turns
position he
into
has
a
to get to
huge play.
And keeps his eyes downfield.
And the
to your
score
point, Chris,
ties
you
the game
mentioned
up.
early.
You think, okay,
he's always
this is
looking
going to be a
downfield.
good game.
Yes,
It's going to be a back-and-forth game. Vision is Ended up not so being the case. As a the Raiders just continue to
he just knows
to
where
build
his
on their
receivers
lead
are going
and
to be. He's on the same page as most of his receivers.
So tough loss for the
that's
Chaos.
just as
We look
important
back, this was in the second
as
quarter
the vision and everything
to
else.
start
You have
it.
to know where they're going to be. So
Quarterback
even if you're looking, you still got to know where they're
on
going
the
to be.
handoff. And handoff to Lashley to the right. Upfield gets brought down at about the 10-yard line.
had a very good game running the
so
ball.
Gains a couple of yards on
a lot of the
play.
players on the
Teams
switch
take a
sides
look
here
on
to
the
start the
midfield.
second, and there's some
They do this at the end of
every game.
It was like a flag on the field.
In the middle of the field,
Flag definitely
very
came
classy
out. I'm not sure who it's going to be on.
clubs.
We'll find out here in a second. But when you look at
And
that run,
that's
it was a
gonna
good
do it
job
for
in
us
the
here
pursuit of Chicago
in
to get
Racine,
over there
Wisconsin.
and not allow
I'm Cody
Lashley
Grant,
to turn that
alongside
corner.
me, Crystal Bosco. Had a great time with you, and we'll see you again for Chicago Chaos on SportsTownChicago.com.
Actually, we have going down to field level will be Cody Grant, as he will go and go talk here on SportsTownChicago.com. So Cody Grant making his way down now to the field, as again a tough loss here. As we'll take a quick timeout here on SportsTownChicago.com.
Steven Tyler of Aerosmith for Red. You know, it's okay to rock and roll and party down. Just don't get in that 2,000-pound bullet when you're done and cocked. And please don't drink and drive. I'm the one that jaded you.
A reminder that friends don't let friends drive drunk. A public service message brought to you by the Ad Council, U.S. Department of Transportation, National Association of Broadcasters, and RAD.
It's time to kick off your career in radio or TV broadcasting. There's no better or faster way than the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Check out our website at beonair.com/Lombard or call us at 630-916-1700 to set up a tour and see all the hands-on training you can receive. The best part of the program is the job placement department that will help you find your first job in broadcasting. Just listen to what some of our recent graduates have to say about the program. Cheryl Scott with NBC5.
I think one of the most important things in the broadcasting industry really is getting a hands-on experience, and a lot of colleges and universities don't always offer that. Reach for, work for what you want to do, and stay extremely focused. And if you do that and stay positive, I think everything will fall into place.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting, where broadcasting careers begin.
You love sports, you have drive and determination, but you need skills to work in sports broadcasting. Hey, this is Herb Lawrence. I'm here to tell you how to get those skills, just like I did at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard. Get hands-on training for a career in radio, TV, or digital media. Learn to be a host, producer, or shoot and edit video. With internships, job placement assistance, and affordable tuition, you can get started with a new career at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Enrolling now. Go to beonair.com/score. That's beonair.com/score.
As a student athlete at the IHSA,
I pledge to respect my teammates. I pledge to respect my coaches.
I pledge to respect the officials. I pledge to respect the opponents. I pledge to respect the fans. I pledge to respect the game. We pledge to do what's right.
SportsTownChicago.com. Cody Grant going down to the field to get us an interview here, as he has a player with him right now, and that is number 20, and Jarrell Johnson. As Cody Grant, take it away.
Hi, I'm here with running back Jarrell Johnson, Chicago Chaos. Jarrell, tough loss against the Raiders. The running game going, you only got about 5-6 carries. What happened on the offense against this Raiders defense?
There's some big boys. They're big up front. So we kind of banded the run a little bit so we can get the passing game going. We didn't really get sacked, so we had time to get the pass off. When we did run, the running game wasn't working for us, so we kind of let that go a little bit, see if our receivers can make some plays.
That first quarter was very exciting. The 75-yard run by Anthony Ionati. You guys seemed to be clicking. The second possession, the James Former touchdown that was negated on the block in the back. It looked like you were making the big plays, but it just stuck play.
Yeah, I think that touchdown they called back kind of deflated some people on the team, some members on the team, and 14-14, everybody was excited. That got called back, took some breath out of everybody. Some air out of everybody, and that kind of, some people didn't recover from that. But we were making some plays. We were tit for tat in the beginning of the game. I think we kind of shocked them a little bit, put them on their heels. They weren't expecting us to do that. So when we came out gunning, we came out to win. We came out strong. We just we didn't stay strong the whole game how we should have.
You guys almost had a comeback there early in the third quarter when you had all those opportunities inside the red zone. James, the punt return and then the interception by Quinnell Johnson set you guys up pretty well, and we thought possibly get down to a one-score game. Just couldn't get into it. I mean, I know you said the running game wasn't working as much. You're trying to do the pass game. What do you have to look for next time you play this team, hopefully sometime next year?
Next time we play this team, I think we'll be more prepared. We're used to being the top dog, so a lot of people came to this game still feeling we were going to be the top dog and didn't put in the effort they should have put in. I hope we do get a chance to play them again. It'll be a lot of changes next time we do play them, so that'd be a great opportunity. This was a great opportunity, so we're definitely ready for another great opportunity.
Hey, we talked about the opportunity playing against the MSFL league. It's going to be good moving forward. Well, Jarrell, it was fun to watch you as always. I can't wait till next Friday, and I love the heart and guts you guys play with. You never quit. So thanks a lot for being here.
I feel sorry for our next opponent.
Well, that was Jarrell Johnson. Back to you, Chris.
All right, thank you, Cody Grant. And you heard Jarrell Johnson, a tough one, but a good experience for the team here in Racine, Wisconsin, as is a great game for all the fans out here to see. Again, a win for the Racine Raiders over the Chicago Chaos, as we will take another timeout and we'll have our final thoughts here on SportsTownChicago.com.
This is Joe Perry. And Steven Tyler of Aerosmith for Red. You know, it's okay to rock and roll and party down. Just don't get in that 2,000-pound bullet when you're done and cocked. And please don't drink and drive. I'm the one that jaded you.
A reminder that friends don't let friends drive drunk. A public service message brought to you by the Ad Council, U.S. Department of Transportation, National Association of Broadcasters, and RAD.
It's time to kick off your career in radio or TV broadcasting. There's no better or faster way than the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Check out our website at beonair.com/Lombard or call us at 630-916-1700 to set up a tour and see all the hands-on training you can receive. The best part of the program is the job placement department that will help you find your first job in broadcasting. Just listen to what some of our recent graduates have to say about the program. Cheryl Scott with NBC5.
I think one of the most important things in the broadcasting industry really is getting a hands-on experience, and a lot of colleges and universities don't always offer that. Reach for, work for what you want to do, and stay extremely focused. And if you do that and stay positive, I think everything will fall into place.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting, where broadcasting careers begin.
You love sports, you have drive and determination, but you need skills to work in sports.
I want to have a job in something I love doing. ICB has so many cool things they offer for me and their students. With the amount of stuff you can learn at ICB, there's no way you won't succeed. You can even host your own radio show. Go to beonair.com/Lombard to enroll now. That's beonair.com/Lombard.
I'm an instructor at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting Lombard campus, and I can tell you we're all about sports broadcasting.
My passion is for boxing, and my career puts me ringside and cage side covering the action for ESPN Chicago, as well as serving as a ring announcer.
Main Pride. If you want a career that you love, check out the Illinois Center for Broadcasting, where you'll learn the craft from the pros in the business like me. Call today at 630-916-1700 and tell them Ray Flores sent you.
I want to have a job in something I love doing. I want to have fun and meet new people. I want to be social. ICB has so many cool things they offer for me and their students. With the amount of stuff you learn at ICB, there's no way you won't succeed. You'll learn how to do a voiceover, how to use camera equipment, actual hands-on. You can even host your own country radio show. All of our teachers actually work in the industry too. Go to beonair.com/country and register for your chance to win a pair of Country Thunder tickets. That's
Sportsmanlike there, especially they're getting down inside the goal line.
And off to Lashley up the middle. Really hurt the Chaos. Their defense was on the field for a long time, didn't get a whole lot of rest, and their offense, on their hand, didn't get a whole lot of rhythm because they were never on the field together, except for the first drive they scored so quickly, the second drive, and then after that it was just all downhill from there. Final score 54-14. But we're going to wrap it up here. I'm Cody Grant, Chris Labosco here. Had a good time calling the game with you, even though it was a loss. We'll see you again on Friday when the Chaos travel to Zahn to play the Atomic Swarm on SportsTownChicago.com.